one thing, and the one thing is that the fly in the ointment, on occasion, was Greg Wallace.
It was Eddy's.
The first...
Eddy's. It was Eddy's. Got a bit of Greg Wallace being a predator. I've got a couple of lies from Eddy's. A couple of lies. A couple of lies from Eddy's. Where's my background music? Hang on. Let's background the music up. A couple of lies from Eddy's. Is it this one? Yeah, this one. And doodle-doo. It's not. Calm down. New hat. Yes, this is my train driver's hat. Chew, motherfucker. Look. Don't you think? I won't be wearing it the whole stream. I might take it off in a minute. Let everyone have a look first. Choo choo. And then basically, I just thought coaxing. We'll do a bit of coaxing. I'll coax you a little bit. We'll talk about coaxing. I've got two weird lies from it. Well, one of them is an old weird lie that I'm not going to go over too much, but he's going to have a bit of a tantrum about. And then he's done a new weird lie recently, which I didn't cover before, so I'll bring it up now. What's on the tip of the hat? That's a button, so that you can actually button. If you don't want to look like a predator, you can button the hat like this. It's got a thistle on it, and you wear it like a cap, like that, like a Peaky Blinders, like a cap, like it's like a golfer's cap. It's not like a regular fashion item. Wear it backwards like one of those Kangols. Do you remember Kangol? You can wear it backwards like one of the Kangols. I'm having to look in the picture of me. I'm a green beret. Look at me. I'm a green beret. I look quite good, actually. Is that why they don't like me? Because I look quite good. You see, Eddy's still a moron. That's about right. That's about right. Now I look like I play golf. All right, you've ruined the hat for me now. You've ruined the hat. You've ruined the hat for me. Just put my cap back on to keep my hair out my eyes. We'll just go back to that. Ruin the hat. You've ruined Christmas. And later on, I mean, it's a bit of a chill time tonight, right? But later on, if things are going well, depending on time, how things are going. I mean, I think we will have time tonight. I'll do a quick roundup of Alan at the start, a quick roundup of Paul Arnott. I mean, I don't really want to watch either of their content this week, so how's my poorly ear? Yeah, it's still poorless, like properless. I'm not going to be on here complaining, but it is, so I am. Thanks. So we're going to cover a couple of weird Eddy's lies. Got a new song to play you, and then to finish, right, for your pudding, Christmas in early times.
I mean, I've got now a refrigerator and a deep freeze, and everything sort of stays in there and keeps well. How did you keep your food fresh in those days?
Well, it wasn't the cockerel, and that was killed the day before.
But that would be Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve morning there was killed. And
that's very Christmassy, isn't it? Christmas Eve morning they killed the cockerel.
Cleaned it and ready for oven next day. But
that's how you kept it fresh, because it was fucking alive. So I just thought it was an interesting little video that I wanted to watch. Christmassy, very Christmassy. So we might get into that. If you don't want that and you think it's, what the fuck are you doing? I don't like that. I'm awful. God, you're disgusting. God. If you don't want that, then alternatively, what we could do is, I've been making an album called Now That's What I Call Eddy, and it's a Christmas treat that's going to come out on Selfridges. We were looking at it over on Twitch, and so I thought what we'd do is I'd show you, because we've done the track list now, so I'd go through the track list with you, maybe play a couple of them, and I need to go through them and download them and put them into a file and release it. So it's, I'm not really doing that. But maybe if you want, we can have a bit of that. But quite a few of you have already seen that aspect of it, that section. Some of you have already seen that, and it's just sort of promoting it, getting it going, because it's going to come out soon on Selfridges. So we could do a bit of that, or we could look at this, or maybe both, depending on time. Thank you very much, Redfan, for the 5 gifted memberships. Let's open up the buttons. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Let's open up the buttons with the classics, the modern classics.
Bang! I'm a cat. Fact. Same. The exact same.
The exact same. Not this attention-seeking prick. Well, see, what do you... Ooh. Like, talking of attention-seeking pricks, let's quickly do for the people that want it, because I am sort of responsible for keeping an eye on this bastard. Alan did a Patreon. It was about Liam. He's still talking about Liam, One Direction, who died. And basically, Brian Harvey's done some interesting work on this, which we will be having a look at on Super Chuffer. The thing is, I don't want to look at Alan's stuff because a lot of it is basically ripped off Brian Harvey, and the other, like, you know, smattering of stuff he's got is his own real nonsense. But basically, he's not like Brian Harvey's got an opinion and a point. Alan's got a grift, and just literally the other week he said he wasn't going to do any more true crime. Well, here he is. Just look at it. I mean, it's just fucking endless, and I really don't want to look at it or cover it. I think the shame of it all is there are actually real people on TikTok now actually really watching these videos of him, I'm pretty sure, and that's because they're interested in the Liam thing and, you know, different generation and stuff like that. I don't know why they would watch Alan's stuff on it, but he's out there stealing Brian's content and bringing it to TikTok. So some of them are watching it, some of them are not. Like, he's getting shit views on some of them, but some of them are getting a bunch of views. He might just be faking it still. But because some of them have basically got comments from like normal people, I think they might be getting a bunch of views on some of them, yeah? But it's a real shame that people like, I don't know, this Becky, who's just like apparently a normal person, like, she doesn't know that Alan's a proper noncer, that he was singing with kids on Smule in that room thing, you know? That, what you call it? You call it a live jam. How to start a live jam in Smule like this, look.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Doing
a live jam. What you do is it's different from just having people sing. It's going live. Look.
To public.
And then you invite people. If you've got their details, invite them if you're the VIP, and you can do a little private room, and you can have a chit chat, a song, a this or that, a pass the mic. You know, a bunch of people in a room. So Alan Smule, you know, they don't know about Alan Smule, do they? But it's a bit of a shame. Is what it is. So that's Alan this week. Like, maybe there's a piece to do about Alan and his current setup. You know, if it kind of belongs on TikTok a little bit, doesn't it? In a way. Those people need to realise who he is. That's your Alan for the week. You're right with that? I think some people might be a bit cross if I'm not heavier on the Alan, but to be honest, like, you know, it's what it is a little bit. It is what it is a little bit, innit? It's not very cheery. Do you know what I mean? It's not very cheery. This nutter though, right? We've got some weird shit here, and I do want to bring it to everyone's attention. Plus, we've got Greg Wallace. Which one do you want? In what order? I know you meant Old Wiggy. Yeah, you don't want to see any more Eddy. Should we get Eddy out of the way and talk Greg Wallace? Greg Wallace is going to involve me reading the fucking news, like I said everyone else does, and they're bad. I'm going to have to. Look, I won't read it all out. I'll get the speak and spell to read a lot of it, but there's a lot of it. Look, loads of writing. So, if you want to hear about Greg Wallace and what he's been up to, there's only a 2-minute clip from Kirsty Walk.
Time that I suppose we were subjected to a kind of sexually inappropriate story was it was very early morning, and we were in a retirement home, and the crew was in a room with the contestants, Jonto Road, and we were getting ready. We'd each been given a recipe that one of the residents was a favourite baking recipe, and that we were going to do our best to bake for them, and then they were going to come and
I get
they
it.
were going to come
Listen,
to the kitchen.
Kirsty, I understand that you're doing the cooking for the fucking MasterChef. Yes. Get on with the sex crime allegation.
They were going to judge it. And Greg Wallace came in and launched into a soliloquy, essentially a story.
A soliloquy?
Of a sort of sexually inappropriate nature about his, well, now former wife. And I was really shocked. I thought, what is this about? You know, I was angry because I thought, this is just not on. You know, we're essentially a captive audience. And it wasn't as if it was anyone engaged with this. It was completely one-way traffic. But I think people were uncomfortable.
He made them uncomfortable by talking about his ex-wife in a saucy way. What I don't understand about it myself is there's context for things, isn't there? Like, there's context. I mean, we'll look through maybe and like maybe get a little bit serious, but I don't know, like have a bit of a laugh about it. Like, we don't like Greg Wallace, he seems like a prat. But in certain contexts, you could probably tell us a raunchy story about your ex-wife, like, and not be the world's worst arsehole. But maybe if you're doing the judging for MasterChef, and as she says, like, you know, the celebrities are there, and Kirsty Walker herself is a bit of a serious chuffer. Like, she's off Newsnight and stuff. It feels like the wrong room, doesn't it? Feels like the wrong room. Apparently, there's another bit where apparently he's been taking his shirt off. She was saying she was in a room with him and he took his shirt off. And like doing her a fashion show. She's Newsnight, Greg. It's the wrong time and place, mate. But it does seem like we'll look through, and I suppose you can be the judge. You can tell me. I'll tell you some of the things he's done. We'll have a look at that. Yeah, bit of Greg Wallace. We'll do Eddy's first. Get him out of the way because he's a bit of a sad act himself, isn't he? And then we'll do a bit of Greg Wallace. Find out about Greg Wallace. Yeah, does that sound like fun to you? And then we'll finish it up at Christmas. Yeah. So you've got a bit of a regular routine nutter that you know from Chufferwatch. Chufferwatch it is a chuffer. It's the news, but how do I get around reading it out from the fucking news? Because I'm gonna have to. Massive hypocrite that I am. And then we can finish up with Christmas or songs, depending on how you feel. Does that sound good? Alan's so Christmassy. Alan's the worst, saddest. Like, it's disgusting what he's doing at the moment. Like, one of the shames of it, I'll chit chat a little bit with you. One of the most shameful things about it is that Brian Harvey's actually got some points to make, and if I were to just rip into Alan, then I'd be undermining what Brian's saying. So he's hiding behind Brian's ideas. He's like a parasite on Brian in so many ways at the moment, and it's. He even said himself, I'm not going to do true crime anymore, it's this, it's that. The minute he found a grift, a way in on TikTok, because he's been looking for it since he started TikTok. He did Dua Lipa's Got No Legs, if you remember. He's trying to find what it is the people on TikTok want to hear, and he thinks this is it. Younger people, pop stars, this is the one. He knows nothing about any of it. He never even, what does he think about One Direction? He knows nothing about any of it. He's just watching Brian's stuff and stealing it. And like I say, if I then attack him on the ideas that he's sharing, then, and some of them are mixed up, like he's not as good as Brian on this, he's a bit mixed up about it, yeah? But if I attack him, then it will appear that I'm undermining what Brian's saying, and if I do it here on YouTube, it's a bit of a weird, even though we cover Alan regularly, it's a bit of a weird, through the prism of Liam Payne's death and the subsequent, inverted commas, conspiracy, I'd be doing shows about Alan. I don't think it works for me. But the main point that needs to be born out of that, maybe it's a next year thing for me, but is people on TikTok need to know who Alan is, because they shouldn't be accidentally watching his TikToks without knowing who he is, should they? That's a really interesting and important aspect of it, and I'm pretty sure that we can go over there and tell them because they ain't watching YouTube. There's far fewer of them over on TikTok. There's 500,000 for every 2 million of us on YouTube, aren't there? So there's far fewer people. Yeah, it's not the big place. It's not the big place. I don't know if you saw this recently. Did you see this? Have you seen this one? This is me, obviously. You can see because I've also got hair on my face. So and actually he looks quite good looking, and he's the hero of the piece, and he's a man out of time who is a bit of a magician. He's a bit of a magician. He's a man out of time, and he's got great morals, and he's on the side of good, and he's fighting for justice. He's super chuffer. And I just posted this on Twitter because it says some cunt pushed me in the river just to get me wet. That's I say it says it, I wrote it. Some cunt pushed me in the river just to get me wet. I drowned it. Actual pick is me. So I just make sure you've seen that. So should we start off with a lie? Should we do some coaxing? Should get some lies going?
I don't think you should talk about Scott Jessop's.
Are you quiet? Oh, for fuck's sake, Eddie, are you quiet? I need the relaxing background music. Okay, here we go. Right, relaxing background music. Pause. Eddie, who's recorded himself really quietly like an idiot. Gonna get boosted. Oh, if I boost you, I have to boost you. I should boost you. People wouldn't know who he was if it wasn't for me.
People will think you're talking about his penis. Michael, not now. Yeah, do you know what? I've always done voices.
I fucking bet you have, you fucking mad nutter. Michael Caine, is he in the room with you?
Some of them better than others. You know, I've always done voices.
Some of them better than others. All of them shit.
Voices. I used to do it when I was on radio. We used to joke about quite a bit.
You used to joke about when he used to be on radio. When would that have been? Before he went to New Zealand, yeah? Are you following? Make sure you're taking notes. Make sure you're taking notes.
I was on radio once, and I think I told you this story, but it almost went viral. I used to phone places.
It almost went viral. There's point one. It almost went viral. Wait, I should put my hat on. I should put my train driver's hat on for this, shouldn't I? This is the train driver's hat moment. Choo-choo, motherfucker, choo-choo. Big bomb bobber. Choo fucking choo-choo. Chewy fucking choo-choo. Dirty Tommy Rumble. So yeah, he went viral. Nearly went viral. So I can't claim that he actually went viral because viral didn't exist. Did it? Viral didn't exist, did it, Eddie? Because you were on the radio in like the 90s. So viral as a concept didn't exist. So it's a bit weird that you should say that.
I used to joke about quite a bit. I was on radio once, and I think I told you this story, but it almost went viral. I used to phone places and put voices on, different voices, you know. And I phoned up Selfridges one day. I mean, there would be people that go, I know this story. I phoned up Selfridges live on the radio, and I phoned them up, and they picked the phone up, and this person picked the phone up, and I went, hello, is that Selfridges?
Interesting voice.
And they went, yes, can I help you? Yes, hello. I recently bought a fridge from you, and it's broken, and I just wondered, can you put me through to the department? And this went on like this, and they were going, sorry, what did you buy here, sir? A refrigerator. And they went, you bought a refrigerator? Have you got the right number? And this went live out on the radio. I went, well, is that Selfridges? And they went, yeah. I went, yes, I bought the refrigerator from you, and I've still got the receipt. I can bring it in. And I was waiting for the punchline where the person said, well, sir, you must have the wrong number because we don't sell fridges. And it went viral. Now, I know that people in Scott's side, like that side...
It went viral. It went viral.
And they're going, well, that's not funny. And the people on my side will be going, actually, that's really funny.
Well, actually, Eddie, there is something funny about that. There is something funny about that, Eddie. There is. There is something funny about that. Let me get my background music back on. Thanks. There is something funny about that. Because it couldn't possibly go viral.
Bang! I'm a cat. Fact.
Big ups, Curious Cat.
Do's and don'ts.
Ooh! Fuck's sake! I've done a murder.
Big ups, Curious Cat.
I'm a cat. Bang!
This is becoming a meme that is transcending across continents now, I guess. Hopefully we can inject it into Gore World somehow. This is becoming a meme that is transcending.
Bang! Fact. I'm a cat.
Thank you very much. So there is something interesting about Eddie's joke about Selfridges and selling fridges and the fact that it would have gone viral. Remember viral? Yeah, viral. That didn't exist in the 90s, right? Because if you just simply search Tiny Tim Selfridges, you'll find a video that did go viral. I've got a
as much hair as you've got customer service skills.
Excuse me.
Hello, is this Selfridges?
Yeah, that's the Selfridges.
So I need a new fridge because you know the light on the fridge that stopped coming on. I either need a new fridge or I need a replacement.
We don't sell fridges.
So he called up Selfridges to complain that his fridge was broken. He needs a new fridge, and they're saying they don't sell fridge. Hello. It's very similar to what Eddy did, isn't it? Is this guy copying Eddy? Do you think?
Sorry.
Yeah, but you're Selfridges.
It's nothing to do with the fact that we actually sell fridges. You need to try, curries or somewhere like that.
I'm not hungry. I don't want a curry.
No.
If I wanted to learn how to cook, I would ring Thomas Cook. Does exactly what it says on the tin.
You wouldn't do.
If I needed some new school shoes, I'd probably ring Boots.
Very funny. So that's Tiny Tim Adventures, okay? Tiny Tim Adventures has existed on YouTube for since 2016. So they've been doing it a while, okay? And they've been doing The Voice 8 years ago.
Right, so gonna ring McDonald's.
Hello, I've just been in with my dad.
So I think that what's happened here is that Eddy's seen this because this has gone viral. Yeah. And then pretended, or you could call it lied. I say you could call it. And it's one of those weird lies, yeah? It's one of those weird lies where it's not just a lie, like, how do I explain this? Some people are like compulsive strange liars that make up stories about their past that you can't check. So you don't know and you don't check. You can't. And they say just strange lies. I've actually had experience with a housemate that shared a house. Someone used to rent a room in a house that I used to live in. They told such strange lies, and it got to the point where it wasn't that. A great example of one was they said that they used to eat the bones from the Kentucky Fried Chicken, and what are you talking about? And then next time we got chicken, they ate the bones because they kind of had to follow up on this weird lie that they'd told. It was just strange. Another strange lie that definitely was a lie was they said they'd done an audition for the WWF wrestling. Like they'd gone to a training day and done an audition and they didn't get in, but they would be trying again next time. They just made up strange lies. And one time this guy, he stole my work. I used to leave my shoes by the front door and he stole my work shoes and went to work in my shoes. Yeah. And when he came, I was like, where are my fucking shoes? I need my shoes for work. I had to go in my trainers. And when he came home, he was late home after me. He came in the house and I was like straight at him, where are my fucking, he came in with bare feet. I was like, where are my shoes? He was like, I haven't got your shoes. I was like, you've obviously took my shoes. And he's like, oh, do you mean your shoes that are out by the front? And I was like, what do you mean they're out by the front? He said, they're out, I don't know. And he took them off before he came in the house and left them out the front, hadn't he? And he'd lied about it. It's just weird lies. So some people have got strange problems with lying, okay? Real strange problems with it. And they're on a different level. And this is that, isn't it? Because here it is.
I've got as much hair as you've got customer service skills.
Excuse me.
Hello, is this Selfridges?
Yeah, that's the Selfridges.
So I need a new fridge because you know the light on the fridge that stopped coming on. I either need a.
So he called Selfridges. He got 800,000 views. It's on TikTok as well. It went viral. Tiny Tim, he did that. That's his life. That's his YouTube. That's his shtick, they call it, yeah? When you have a comedy thing that you do, it's your shtick. Your shtick. That's his patter. And what Eddy's done, he hasn't actually lifted the patter. He hasn't done the joke himself, for himself, copied that. He's just pretended he did it in the 90s and that it was wildly successful. And he's using it as a story to embellish his personality. And it's just something he's made up. Completely fabricated. It's a very strange way to behave. It's a very strange way to behave. Do you know what I'm saying?
And there was this... That Selfridges. No, but it got... I've always done voices.
This is where I think what he's saying, right, doesn't make sense. And this is why I think it's even more conclusively... Scott can see, Scott can mind read. I can do body language and I can spot a fucking liar. Yeah, that's one of the things I'm good at. So this is one of those, yeah. You don't need to have a lie detector and you know, you don't need to be Sherlock Holmes for this one. It's all there for you. It's all there in your face. So let's check it again.
Michael, not now. Yeah, do you know what? I've always done voices. Some of them better than others.
That I can agree with. You've always done the voices, yeah, because you hear them.
You know, I've always done voices. I like doing voices. I used to do it when I was on radio. We used to joke about quite a bit. I was on radio.
Who's we? Who are you joking about with? Because the only example of your radio show from the Mixcloud was you on your own playing records and occasionally talking in between them, but not very even occasionally talking in between. Quite a lot of just the records, almost as if you could have just put that together on your computer and pretended it was a radio show you did in the past. Because there's no proof of you actually broadcasting a radio show ever. Like, anything you say now, I'm going to be like, Pixar, it didn't happen, yeah? Where's the proof? Like, you're a confirmed liar, remember? So
once, and I think I told you this story, but it got...
Claire, did your Ko-fi? No, let's check that. I'm a bit surprised if it's not. Let me check. Thank you. Can I check in just a second? Because, like, well, I might as well check now. I was going to say I'm in my flow, but I'm not logged in for some reason. I'm now logged in. That's interesting. I hope that didn't affect it. Let me do a test of the button. Please test the button. Stream alert. Where's the test button? Should make it red so I can see it easier. There it is. Send a test alert. No?
It's raining again.
Test alert.
Someone sent tippies.
And then fresh.
Hello. In Kofi's chatbot.
Big ups, Claire. Thank you for the tip.
Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
Thank you for notifying me. Maybe I wasn't logged in, which is a weird thing. But thank you very much. It's there on the screen now. I'll put it on the screen now. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'll just do a few details. Sometimes people don't put the details like publicly. You did. Thank you for I owe you 5 hugs. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So yeah, if anyone else wants to know, coffee.com, it's on the screen all the time. It's a tippy system. I get slightly more of the cut than YouTube, and it should, in theory, come up on the screen and read your thing out. So like, that's the idea of that, yeah. Kofi takes no fee. It rhymes, look. But I'm grateful for everything. If YouTube take a little cut, that's also cool because, you know, we're on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, knees up Eddie Brown, knees up Eddie Brown. He's telling a lie, remember? He's telling a lie. This guy did the viral moment. This guy had the actual joke. This guy really did it. And Eddie's taking that story and incorporating it into his own life as if it's him and it's a lie.
It almost went viral.
So there you go, that's the first bit. It almost went viral. How would it go viral in the 90s? What does he mean? So many people in his like if he was on the radio, he wasn't on national radio, was he? He was in like Radio Dulces, yeah. So like if he's on the radio for his local area and it's popular, or in the hospital, everyone got a good laugh out of Eddie's good joke. How did that go viral? Well, was it in the newspaper? People phoning each other up on the landline with the, you know, dialing the thing with the roundy dialing. Hello, Eddie did a funny joke on the radio today. Did he? Did you record it so I could hear it? No. Okay. No, it didn't almost go viral. That's ridiculous.
Places.
But the guy that did it for real, it did go viral. It did, and that's how you know about it.
Put voices on, different voices, you know. And I phoned up Selfridges one day. I mean, there would be people that go, I know this story. I phoned up Selfridges live on the radio, and I phoned them up, and they picked the phone.
Because, of course, Tiny Tim has phoned up loads of places with jokes. You saw in that Selfridges one, he had 4 or 5 different places that he'd done jokes about. It's a thing he does. So Tiny Tim, it's a thing he does. With Eddie has never, ever talked about prank calling people while he's been on the radio. Never talked about it. He's into old music. So why would he suddenly incorporate this feature into his old music show? It's not the sort of thing that Eddie's up to. He's not Steve Wright in the afternoon. And even then, Steve Wright didn't call and prank call people. Because if you're broadcasting on the radio live and you're doing prank calls, I suppose there's a, yeah, but come on. Eddie didn't do this. There's no way Eddie did this. It didn't go viral. It's not his way of being. It's not his normal behaviour. He hasn't got a list of all these other things he did on the radio that were these little skits. He plays old songs and he talks like a wanker in the middle. That's it. And he's not even good at that.
phone up, and this person picked the phone up, and I went, hello, is that Selfridges?
The Glenn fellow we'll come on to in a minute. We'll have a look at that in just a second. That's the other lie that he told, and we'll look at that in a second. And the thing is, right, I'll deal with this lie first, and I'll tell you why it's so important that these lies matter, because some people are trying to discount it and say it's a nothing, but check this out.
And they went, yes, can I help you? Yes, hello.
Yes, hello. Oh, you're doing the voice, are you?
I've got as
But you can't
much
do it like
hair
Tiny
as
Tim,
you've
no?
got customer service skills.
So you're just doing a voice that's like that, just like Tiny Tim. Yeah, okay.
I recently bought a fridge from you, and it's broken, and I just want...
It's broken. You recently bought it and it's broken. Slightly different from Tiny Tim, just like the classic liar. Just slightly adapted, slightly different. Tiny Tim didn't buy it and now it's broken. He's got a broken one and he's looking to buy one. But yeah, go on.
Can you put me through to the department? And this went on like this, and they were going...
And it went on like this.
Sorry, what did you buy here, sir? A refrigerator. And they went, you bought a refrigerator?
And they went, no, they didn't. But you're trying to get to the punchline and you're trying to remember how it orders. Because Tiny Tim, actually, it happened, so it ordered right for him, yeah?
Excuse me.
Hello, is this Selfridges?
Yeah, that's the Selfridges.
So I need a new fridge because you know the light
He needs a fridge.
on the fridge that stopped coming on. I either need a new fridge or I need a
We don't
replacement.
sell fridges.
We don't sell fridges, she says.
We don't sell fridges, sorry.
But you sell fridges.
Yeah, but your Selfridges.
And that's the joke. So he can't quite get the joke in line because he didn't do it. It didn't happen to him. So he doesn't remember it and say it. And it doesn't. He's thinking to himself now, hang on, how did that go? How did that go?
Have you got the right number? And this went live out on the radio.
Have you got the right number? And this went like, he's lost himself. He needs to get back to the punchline. So now he's like, shit. Right, I've lost myself. I need to get back to the punchline, yeah?
I went, well, is that Selfridges? And they went, yeah. I went, yes, I bought the refrigerator from you, and I've still got the receipt. I can bring it in.
But he's fucked it up.
And I was waiting for the punchline where the person said, well, sir, you must have the wrong number because we don't sell fridges.
You fucked it up.
Fridge that stopped coming on. I either need a new fridge or I need a replacement.
We don't sell fridges, sorry.
Yeah, but your Selfridges.
It's not.
We don't sell fridges. You're Selfridges. See? You're a liar. You're like a confirmed liar, yeah?
And it went viral. Now,
it went viral. It went viral. So, of course, I'll be able to find record of it then, yeah? I'll be able to find record of it. Because it went viral. What? In Essex? On local radio? Have you ever heard anything on local radio going viral anywhere in the 90s ever? Can anyone name me? Big up Simon. Sis. Big up Sis. I'll get you. Wait, I need to turn the. I'm going to give you a classic button, but the classic offensive button. But I need to turn the gain down for this one.
Where's the fucking blonde whore with the fucking tits and a fishnet and a fishnet and a fishnet and a fish? Where's that fucking blonde cunt whore? Where is she? Where is she? Where's that fucking whore at?
bang! I've just had a lovely cup of tea and a Bakewell tart.
Big ups. He can't have gone viral, can he? Like, he can't have gone viral. It doesn't make any sense. So the reason he's saying it is because this actually did go viral. I'm repeating myself, but that's the proof of the lie, isn't it? That's getting caught in a lie, is when you tell a story, but you make it up or you steal it from somewhere, and so you didn't live it. So when it comes to the detail, and when it comes to the facts, they don't line up and they don't add up properly. And if I make him retell that story 5 times, each time it'll be slightly different. He'll get caught up, he'll fuck up. I can ask him a different question every time, find some answer. Like, he will fuck up, because he never did it. He's made it up. He never did it. It did not and could not have gone viral. So why is he doing that? This episode, of course, is from his channel, Eddy's Vinyl Breaks. And it's important I show you the name of the channel and who's saying it, even though I don't need to show you who published it, really. Just the fact you know it's Eddy is enough. But that's because in New Zealand, fair use is that I can ridicule it and critique it if I want, because it's fair use. and this is from the channel Eddy's Vinyl Breaks, EVB, the Chuffer Town Lies. And it's interesting he's called it the Chuffer Town Lies, because this episode that he put up, 2 hours of him fucking, he started off, right, and he was like, I'm just going to do 10 minutes. And every fucking 20 minutes, an hour, he does a time check. Oh, I've been on for an hour. I've been on for 2 hours. I've been on for... And he just rants, and a lot of it's lies. Like, it's lies and anger and vitriol and piss. Lies. A lot of lies. The Chuffer Town Lies. Well, I'll tell you what. You lie. You're a confirmed liar. I don't lie. I tell the truth. You're a liar. You're a liar. A weird liar as well, isn't it? Like, can anyone in chat tell me why you think he's lied? Like, do you think it's just he wanted the cool story, or to appear cool? Like if I told you, when I was in uni, we were in a band and we actually had a record out. Yeah, it didn't get in the charts really, only top 30. But yeah, we had a record out. Like, that'd sound cool, wouldn't it? But it never happened. Never happened. I remember once, actually, this is when I was a teenager. This was I was talking to two girls from my bus. Like, I used to go on the bus with them, and then I stopped going on the bus and I went to university, and I came back and I was like, yeah, I'm doing this music and I might even get myself, like, I was actually talking to record companies, like sending them demos and stuff, but I embellished it a bit, didn't I? And I said, yeah, I might be getting myself a record, trying to get in with a record company and like trying to make it sound cool. And like later on, when I saw them, like the next 6 months later after I came back, whatever, they were like, well, how's your record coming on? I was like, yeah, I definitely don't have a record deal. That's never going to happen, is it? Like, but it felt weird to like have to be like, yeah, maybe I should have embellished that, because like it made me look stupid when it never happened. But like with Eddy, like I was embellishing something to try and make myself look cool. It would have been the equivalent of me saying I have a record deal and the music's going to be out in HMV. Like he's just completely made it up. Like just completely made it up to sound relevant. You think? To sound relevant just for content. He wants attention. He wants to appear cool, making him sound like a comic. Yeah, I like. Like, sometimes people steal jokes, yeah? Like, if you're watching the telly, like, sometimes people watch the telly and they're like, oh, that's funny. Look how Peter Kay said that. So then you're in the pub and you hear them doing it. Like, oh, garlic bread. And you're like, well, that's Peter Kay. It's not you. You're not funny. Peter Kay's funny. Stop telling me other people's jokes. You're not funny. I don't want to hear you repeating the things you've seen on the television to try and, they don't even say, I watched the telly and this person did it. They just do it as if it's their joke. You know what I mean? Or as if it's, because they don't have anything funny to say. So maybe it's that, yeah. Like, went viral on dial-up, yeah. Like, well, we didn't even have the internet back then. The internet simply didn't exist. So he would have been doing his radio show to a very small audience of local people, and he would and the concept of virality didn't exist. Like nothing. Like if something was very popular back then, it wasn't termed viral. He would have had to make mainstream national news. He would have had to have been. Like, oh, big ups, Kelly, have you just arrived? I've got a new song. Kelly hasn't heard it. Please let me play the song. Just a little bit. Please let me play the song. It was an intro song, but please let me play it a little bit, and then we'll do Eddy's next lie. But the next lie I'm going to skim through quite quick. I'm going to tell what the lie is and skim through the proof quite quick, because the proof is out there and we've looked at it a number of times. But please let me play my song, because Kelly will like it. This is a new one. I did it last night. And today when I woke up, I turned on the computer and I was like, who's done these small songs? I actually thought someone had hacked my account. And then I played the song and I was like, oh no, that was me. I was really tired last night, but I didn't go straight to bed after stream. I did this instead. Are you ready? Wait, start it again. It was quiet. Start it again. I won't play all of it. I'll just play 30 minutes, seconds.
I'm your hot swimmer recruit. You're my superior officer. Stop or I'll shoot. My lord, whoa. Seeing you in that swimming pool, being near you on the wrestling mat.
If anyone doesn't know, John Wedger told a story. I need to find it and pair it with this song. John Wedger told a story on a podcast about how he was in the police academy and he wasn't supposed to be using the pool because it was for superior officers, and he just fucking fucked it off and just broke in there anyway and used the pool, and he got caught by a superior officer, and instead of telling him off, the superior officer said, you can use the pool if you swim up and down like a furious sexy man in the pool. And so he said, oh, I'll do that then, and he did the swimming in the pool, and then they said, you did so well in the pool and I really enjoyed it that I'm paraphrasing, but he said, you did so well, you're going to join the wrestling club. And John was like, that's great. And apparently the wrestling club was just him and him, the two of them. So John would go for swims where he wasn't allowed, and then he'd have one-on-one wrestling with his superior officer. And that was something he told us as stories. So this is a song about that.
You sat on me, I was sat on by you. I felt my wedgie, you knew the truth. I'm your hot swimmer recruit. You're my superior officer, stop or I'll shoot my load. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You caught me, I knew what I was doing was wrong. Wronger than Wilfred Wong. You busted me, you wrestled me, I busted free. It was the best night of my week. I'm your hot swimmer recruit. You're my superior officer, stop or I'll shoot my load. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So wrestling with my superior officer was
All right. Should we get back to the lying? Now, before the next bit of lying, right? Big ups. What's going on? Oh, Kerry Koo. Oh, I know who that is. Bye. Do you know who that is? I know who that is. Woo! Don't worry. I should have spotted that earlier. Sorry. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Woo! So basically, the reason these lies are so important, right? The reason these lies are so important is because when someone's telling you lies about stuff, generally, like, you can't always spot it, can you? Like, it's hard to if they're just slipping in little weird lies here and there. Yeah? Does it matter about what he says about Nicola Bulley? That's probably the truth, even though this is a lie. No. This is evidence of a character. You know, this is like proper catching someone out. And like, if you were dating someone like this and you found out that things they'd told you were outrageous, outright lies, wouldn't that question everything? Wouldn't it make you question everything? It's a matter of broken trust. Like, he's building his personality on a web of lies. And how many other things has he said that might not be true? I've always tried to question as much as, like, I've always, you know me, yeah? Like, I question so much, don't I? Like, question the narrative. Yeah, question the people who spin you the fucking weird narrative after you've questioned the narrative as well. Yeah. Like, I question a lot. And with Eddy, one of the problems is he hasn't said so much, and it's been hard to pin down what's the truth, even about his own history and stuff. Like, you know, he's been weird about it all. And the reason he's done that is because he's a fucking liar. So, like, if he tells things, then he can get either caught out in the lie that he's already told, or you might find out the truth and he doesn't want you to know that. So, big problems with Eddy. Like, big problems. And these sort of lies, like, if it's weird, innocuous little lies like this, let's say little, that's quite a big lie. To lift somebody else's thing that they did and say you did it. Like, as I said, like, you know, I could equally make up a weird lie about, you know, we're just talking about YouTube content, aren't we? Like, I mean, I used to do ASMR, yeah? So I could say I was the person that did the first, I don't know, stupid... I don't need to explain what a lie is. In fact, I don't even need to tell one, do I? Like, you understand what I'm saying. This is a weird kind of lie. And why? And then on top of that, when can you trust them in the future about the important things? Because you can't. You just can't. Like, full on, proper lie. Yeah? Proper lie. So that's... the reason I think it's important is because I think it completely proves that the man is untrustworthy. And so if you're going to... Now, this is the sort of person that you keep well out of your arm's length, you don't listen to, you don't trust, you get rid of them. As soon as... In that situation in our house, like, I didn't choose who got to live there, but as soon as we knew as a house, you know, as a house, that this person was doing these lies and stuff like that, they were on the fucking thin ice, they were gone, weren't they? Like, you know, you don't trust them, do you? You have to watch your stuff around them. Liars. Yeah? And liars like that will do all the other things as well. Because they've got no morals, because they don't care, because they're just fucking weird fucking fake liars, won't they? They'll do all the other shit. So you've got to be careful of it. But it's also, like, there's that, but there's also this nature of delusion. There's like a delusional personality. There's like a sad personality that does this. And it's, I say sad, like, you know, they don't have what they want in their life. Things have gone wrong. Really seriously wrong as well. Like, sometimes it can be this can be from a trauma or something from when they're younger, and they can't face the reality. It can be that. But then they live in a sort of delusional la-la denial land. Alan does that a lot, but for different reasons. But this kind of thing where you see something that you wish it was you. You see some, like, you know, Eddy, we know he wishes he could be successful. Like, if Eddy was Tiny Tim and was having a great time on the internet doing prank calls and like a radio host, or, you know, and had that popularity, Eddy would love it, even though I find Tiny Tim a little bit creepy myself. Like, Eddy would love to be Tiny Tim with those 800,000 views and people saying he's great and funny and actually having something funny to say and do. And, you know, Eddy would love that. He's not creative or funny. Like, his stuff is awful. Even his choice of font paints him out to be a fucking bellend. Like, he would love it, but he's not, yeah? So instead, he will steal it and pretend. And that's probably like the mark of someone that's got real problems, isn't it? Real problems. And talking of real problems, he's got a real problem with this as well. He's got a real problem with this.
Outfit. I don't do that. I'm not that cold. I'm not cruel. You are cruel. George Moonoogian, I want to clear this up. You knew this is where I got distracted by the trains. You
Sorry, yeah. In this video, trains repeatedly go past the back window because he lives right on the train track. Yeah.
know exactly that you cannot upload a WAV file direct.
No, okay, this isn't even the question. What are you even talking about? I'll let him talk, I'll play it, then I'll reverse, you know, go back and show you what the thing he's angry about, and then we'll go through it, yeah? Or do you want me to go through it first and then prove he's a liar? Like, first of all, I think we should let him say the thing, and then I should prove it's a lie, isn't it? But I will interject here. This isn't even the point. It's got nothing to do with uploading WAV files to YouTube. That's just bizarre. It's not even what we were even talking about in the first place. What we were talking about is uploading radio shows to Mixcloud in 2020 something. Like, it's not got anything to do with like WAV files at the start of YouTube.
From file on to YouTube. You know that. You're lying. You're coaxing people to believe that...
I'm lying about what? That you can upload a WAV file to YouTube? When have you ever heard me say that?
Eddy's lies started with saying that he uploaded George Moonoogian by recording him live.
No, I said that you uploaded George Moonoogian because you downloaded it from the internet. I said you downloaded it from the internet. George Moonoogian, George has got a website. Well, they set one up. This is George Moonoogian is dead. He was a radio guy. I mean, we've been through this. Shout me out in chat if you've already heard me say this and you want me to just move through it quicker. Because they set him up a website in memory of him being dead. After he died, yeah? So he wasn't broadcasting at this time, he was dead. And on that website, you can download the radio shows. And the first one, you download in 2 parts, 2 sections. Yeah? What Eddy did, and this photograph here of George, is he took these things off this website and uploaded them to Mixcloud. And so Eddy's Mixcloud, the first thing he did, said Eddy Brown Mixcloud, and it had a picture of his first upload had a picture of George Moonoogian, and it said George Moonoogian's radio show, and it was uploaded in part 1 and part 2 because he downloaded it from here and uploaded it to Mixcloud, and he took this picture and put it there. So, like, to anyone who just was looking at Mixcloud, it might look like it was fucking George's Mixcloud for all they knew. I know it said Eddy Brown on it. I mean, now it says nothing because he deleted it all after we found this, but like, it's just stolen content from George Moonoogian's website, and he stole the picture. And he stole the radio show. And he stole it after the bloke died. In memory of. Yeah? So he didn't record it live. That's not what happened. And I proved that. And the problem he has, and I can play it to you now in just a second because, you know, one thing after the other, is that in the chat he said he recorded it live, and then I proved that he didn't. So he did one of these other lies. It's just like the Tiny Tim lie. It's just making up a thing that never happened. And if I hadn't caught it, he'd have been just away with it. It would just have been a thing. He'd have just, you know, if he says it's like that, it's like that. Why did you have George Moonoogian on your Mixcloud? Oh, I recorded him and I put it up there. Oh, did you? Okay. It's nothing, is it? It's no big deal. But the fact that I know it's a lie means, why are you lying to me about that? I just literally just let you, you know, pass your lie off. Well, first of all, I let him pass it off, and then I caught him in it, you know, and pointed out, hang on, you were lying, I've caught you, I knew you were lying, I let you say the lie, and then I pointed it out to everyone that you're lying. So he doesn't like that. It makes him really angry. That's something he doesn't like. So now he's saying it differently.
I recorded him live. I recorded him live before Mixcloud or YouTube even existed.
You recorded him live before YouTube existed. Why? Did you want to put it up on YouTube? And that little blink there tells me everything I need to fucking know.
I recorded him live before Mixcloud or YouTube even existed.
He thinks, fuck, should I have said that?
That's how long ago that was.
Did you, though? Did you? You would have had one chance then, yeah? Because it would have gone out live on the radio and you'd have been listening, and George Moonoogian, bless him, would have been broadcasting from Massachusetts, America. So I don't know if it was international back then. Maybe you were such a radiophile that you were able to find George Moonoogian's 1940s style radio show that he would broadcast on... Where was it? They were produced by him, simulcast, bi-weekly, on WJZ. Yeah? So you were listening to that, were you, Eddie? It's very specific. I don't know what WJZ is myself. I mean, well, okay. I'll take your word for it then, yeah? And I'll take your word for it about everything else you ever say ever. Big up Eamon Holmes.
Did David Icke penetrate you with his penis?
I just had a lovely cup of tea and a Bakewell tart.
Double toxic. Big ups Bun Bun. Eamon Holmes, I swear, is running this whole fucking racket. He's the one that's got the Ireland connection and the celebrity connection. And back in Manchester, don't you tell me that when the Spice Girls were hot and Wayne Rooney and all the fucking... I mean, now, look at all the footballers doing all the fucking bad things they do. There's loads of drugs going on. Eamon Holmes was on this morning. It was the pivot point of all of it. All the different celebrities coming in and out this morning. He's up early. He goes back and forth to Ireland every week. Come on. Big up Eamon Holmes. Manchester Media Mafia, mate. Manchester Media Mafia. And now they've moved the BBC up there as well. They're all wearing wigs, on cocaine, or they're paedophiles. That's what happens to all those bad people in the tellies. And don't you tell me it's not. I spotted it when I was like... Marijuana opened up my mind to this, right? Because I was... Me and my friends, we were relatively teenage young. We were watching... We weren't watching anything. We were drinking tea with marijuana in it and having fun. And we had a microphone and we were recording each other talking and having fun. And I was sat in a big chair and I went, Jewelry, Jimmy Savile. And it was like my turn on the microphone. I was doing an impression of Jimmy Savile. And I went, come on, kids, Jimmy Savile's going to have a wank. And everyone thought it was funny. But it just happened. I was like, well, Jimmy Savile's a paedophile, isn't he? Like the marijuana got me in tune with the universe, and the universe told me, and it spoke through me. Jimmy Savile's a paedophile. Amen. And I exposed him just to my friends on a microphone when we were stoned, but now I'm exposing it to the world. Look how far we've come. Just to my friends, that's you're my friends, and the microphone and the world. But yeah, I'm now exposing everyone. Big up Eamon Holmes. And in the media, they're on cocaine, or they're a paedophile, or they're wearing a wig, and it's either one or the other, or all three. Some of them are just wearing the wig, some of them just do cocaine, some of them have a wig and cocaine combo. I don't know what Eddie's about. We all know he's got problems. I don't know which part, but some of them are paedophiles as well, and they're the worst ones. Actually, you'd think the worst ones would be the ones that are also doing cocaine. The wig's not, it doesn't make you a bad person, but I mean, just look at Gary Glitter. He was definitely wearing a wig in the end, wasn't he? Turns out. So, some of the worst ones. Anyway, let's get back to this.
I'm a record collector. I collect loads of records.
You collect criminal records. A record collector. I've got lots of records. You've got lots of gnomes as well. What does that make you? A gnome collector? A gnome collector? I'm a record collector. I've got lots of records. Sorry, I'm just taking the piss. We need to find out exactly how you're going to spin this to turn your lie that we caught you in. Your lie that we caught you in. In fact, we should watch this bit first, actually, shouldn't we? Because now he's going to, in chronological order, let's just get through a bit of this.
Here's another question for you. When we scroll down to the very bottom, the first thing you uploaded is called Big 10-Inch Harmony GM Hooker Radio Show.
Big 10-Inch Harmony.
What's the GM Hooker Radio Show?
What's the GM Hooker Radio Show? What's that, says Scott. Eddie says he's born in June 1969, he says. I'll just skip on, because he's in the chat. George was a friend of mine through radio. He's passed away now. Great guy. You obviously know that now, because you could it's probable that what happened is, when I asked him that question, he went on Google and looked him up.
Who had maybe passed him down?
I asked him about the records. I point out.
How did you get his record radio show?
How did you get his radio show? How did you how did you find the gym? There's the evidence that Eddie uploaded it. Look, that's his thing there, Eddie Brown. It's weird running it's weird running a Mixcloud where you just upload other people's radio shows from from this era, from this U-Tree era. It's almost like you're signalling to people, you fucking nutter. And they've got these problems on social media with people, right? I don't know whether it's there's all sorts of bad people using social media to talk to each other, and they're not supposed to, are they? They're not supposed to. I just realised I haven't got it on live chat, I've got it on top chat. The different things can be abused. We know what happens with Smool, don't we? We know what happens with Smool. So, but there's other kinds of people that might want to use things to talk to each other as well. So it might not be that sort of thing, But it's a weird thing. There was actually a time once on YouTube where Russian people were leaving weird comments on videos that had got 10 views. And there was an idea that it might have been Russian bots, but it might have also been Russian spies leaving themselves. If you're going to leave a secret message out in public, do it on a YouTube video that no one knows who the people is with 10 views. It will just stay there out in public, and other people will be able to see it, but only if they know. It's like a weird thing. I don't know what these people are connected to, other than why these people are connected to each other on Mixcloud, other than their love of people like Tony Blackburn. But it's weird. Even if you like those sort of radio shows, you can find them on the internet on archives. You don't have to record them yourself and upload them and be connected to other people that record them and upload them. It's a very strange thing to do. And he didn't upload them in order. He didn't upload them in not like an archive. Here's Ken Bruce, and here's this, or from 1920 to 1950, in order. Just random radio shows, almost like he'd gone on the internet, downloaded it from a website, and just whacked it up randomly, like he did with George Moonoogian. So,
how did you get it?
And interestingly, there are those radio shows there that say they are him doing his radio show on certain radio stations, and there's no real evidence to prove that is him doing the radio show on the radio stations. You very rarely hear his voice in it, but also you have the idents at the start and the end, and that's about it. But I could edit that. I could make a radio show that sounded like I was doing that, so even that's now in question, yeah?
Did you record that in the studio? You recorded them at the time of broadcast? Because on his website...
I recorded them at the time of broadcast, he says. That would have been a fucking weird thing to do, right? Especially as you downloaded them in 2 halves and uploaded them in 2 halves. Why did you record them in 2 halves? You didn't. You downloaded them in 2 halves. And then you tried to upload them, and you couldn't. You uploaded them in 2 halves. You didn't record... If you'd recorded it, you recorded it in one big chunk. You didn't record it at the time of broadcast. And if you did, why did you record it and press stop at the same time as the download that you can get off the internet? You're such a liar.
You can download them here, look. Maybe I shouldn't fucking download that.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't download. I was worried that they might be setting me up to download things off a website, to what George Moonoogian was getting up to. But there you go, he's talking about it. He's proving himself to be caught in a lie. Yeah, caught in a lie, because it's not. He didn't. Caught in a lie, yeah? And he's fucking furious about it.
He uploaded George Moonoogian by recording him live. I recorded him live.
Right, and this is what he says.
Direct from file on things out about people. I don't just blabbermouth it. I don't do that. I'm not that cold. I'm not cruel. You are cruel. George Moonoogian.
We could do another. This was. He thought I was going to react to this whole 2 hours of this bullshit. In this, he says some very cruel things, and we could react to them. But I don't want to bring some of the cruelest things about the other people he talks about into it. But we could. I could do an edit of this and check out some of the cruelty.
I want to clear this up. You knew this is where I got distracted by the trains. You know exactly that you cannot upload a WAV file direct from file on to YouTube.
So what the fuck has that got to do with this?
You know that. You're lying. You're coaxing.
How am I lying? There we go. Coaxing. We got coaxing.
On to YouTube.
I should stop pausing it. You need to hear what he says in response, and then I can take it apart. Sorry.
You know that. You're lying. You're coaxing people to believe that Eddy's lies started with saying that he uploaded George Moonoogian by recording him live.
No. I'm not. Wait, I'm not coaxing you to believe that his lies started there. I think he's always been a liar about all sorts of stuff. They don't start there. That's the first one I was able to categorically catch. I felt like I was one of those detectives. In the Nicole Cassidy's questioning, you pin them down to the story, knowing that I've got a good detective doesn't ask questions they don't know the answers to. I learned that recently, actually. I shouldn't show any cards here, but I learned that recently. I knew the answer to this before I asked him, and he got caught in a lie. That's how I know he was lying, yeah? I can't do that with everything on the internet about all people all the time. Like with Alan, it's easier to see he's lying. You don't have to ask the questions. You just, you see he's lying. But, now that I know that, and then with the more recent lie that we've just been looking at about that Tiny Tim, it's a pattern. So now I can go back and just say, it's all fucking lies, yeah? Anything that's a bit fishy, anything that's weird. And in the future, I expect some serious weird lies out of Eddy. Because to cover the lie, the liar usually gets worse before they get any better. They don't ever get better. But you know what I mean? They try a bigger lie, because why not? You're already caught in the first lie. You know what I'm saying? That lad who said he didn't steal my shoes said that he saw them down the street left outside and someone had put them by the front door. He could have just told me that, sorry, these are your shoes. I shouldn't have worn them to work. That was wrong. Got caught there. But no, he told a lie on top. So I think this is Eddy's plan is just he's fucked and he's a nutter and he's going to lie his way out or through it. Coaxing has been banned.
I recorded him live. I recorded him live before Mixcloud or YouTube even existed. What? That's how long ago that was. I'm a record collector. I collect loads of records. George Moonoogian had a radio show in America. I used to listen to his shows.
All right, let me just check this, because I think he might be right that George Moonoogian broadcast before YouTube, but it might not be right. So, Eddy might just be misspeaking here, but... no, actually, I do want Google for that, don't I? Google, when did YouTube start? 2005, and George Moonoogian was on the radio 2001 to 2003. So he's correct. George was on before YouTube even started. On the radio in America. Yeah. Okay.
He sent me his show. But I couldn't play it. I couldn't open it.
But you didn't need to, because you recorded it off the internet when it was live. Sorry, off the radio when it was live. So this is exactly what I said would happen. A liar then has to tell more lies to cover the lies, but they don't make sense. He's just caught himself out in another lie, straight up.
I collect loads of records. George Moonoogian had a radio show in America. I used to listen to his shows. He sent me his show. But I couldn't play it. I couldn't.
How did he send it to you in 2003? Were you big on the internet in 2003? Was it what was your internet like in 2003, everyone? Do you remember what, because YouTube didn't start till 2005. What was the internet like in 2003? What was the internet like in 2003? It was AOL, wasn't it? It was this sort of stuff. You know, you're looking at an internet like this. Yeah? History of the internet. 2006, you get www addresses. 2005, YouTube. 2003, I mean, yeah, okay. You're one of the early adopters there, Eddy. MySpace. It's the MySpace days, yeah? He sent you... 2003, MySpace started. And you must have been on MySpace with George Moonoogian, yeah? Because he would be the sort of person to be on the internet as well, wouldn't he? George Moonoogian. Yeah, go on.
Open it. Now, when you opened up them files that you got on the internet, they didn't even exist at the time. They weren't there. That is a relatively new thing. It's probably only been...
Yes, the website was put up after he died, and that's your problem with your lie, is that the website was put up after he died, so you got access to these files after he died, not when you recorded them off the radio. And the way you uploaded them in two halves that I showed you, part 1, part 2, is the way you downloaded them off here, part 1, part 2. So the two halves issue. Why did George send them to you in two halves? Why didn't he record his radio show in one big chunk?
There for about new thing. It's been there for about 15 years. But I was recording the shows in the late 90s.
No, if you were recording it, then you would have your recording. But instead, George had to send it you. Which lie do you want to stick with?
There was no YouTube. Early YouTube, I don't know if people remember this, you weren't allowed to just upload.
What's YouTube got to do with it?
Greg sent tippies.
Big ups, Greg.
Keep up the good workings.
Thank you. Hopefully this is somewhere
Super
between.
Chuffer owes 9 hugs.
Thank you very much. That's very generous of you.
Now hold on, Lorraine.
Hopefully this is somewhere between, like, you know, comedic, entertaining, and like holding this nasty liar to account.
Lekker and fearless, we came to take one. Follow ladies, I want ladies, super ladies, nurture.
There's facts, there's reality, and then there's your bullshit world.
Thank you. Don't forget, Eddy had them with the adverts. Why would he have an advert-free copy if George sent it? Shouts out. He's deleted it all now, hasn't he? But
download, you had to, if you downloaded, you had to upload. There was kind of a bit of a, you know...
What do you want about if you downloaded, you had to upload? Another point here is, we're not talking about YouTube at all. We're talking about your Mixcloud account.
It's in its growth, in its early days. It's completely different now. But what I was going to say was that Scott knows what I'm saying is true.
No.
But he tries to really...
What do you want about? I know that it's true that you couldn't upload an MP4 to YouTube or M4 to YouTube in 2005, yeah. It's got nothing to do with what we're talking about. That's straw manning and gaslighting.
Ridicule me. When I put those shows up on...
I didn't do this to ridicule Eddy. What was happening was, we were on the internet on Twitch late at night, as we do, and we were talking about Eddy, because he's weird, and we were looking into, like, Eddy said he was on the radio, so can I find him on the radio? And I found his Mixcloud account with radio shows, and I said, this is a weird Mixcloud account. Look at the way he's using it. He's uploading all these old radio shows, you know, we just talked about all this, and he jumped into my chat to talk about it, to defend himself, to sort of like, you know, no, it's cool, you know, I just got a Mixcloud account. I'm on Twitch in the middle of the night. In New Zealand, it's the middle of the morning or whatever. Like, what's Eddy doing all of a sudden? He wasn't in my chat before this, chatting and being normal. But the minute I talk about him and we're on this Mixcloud, boom, he's there. Like, it's fucking weird in itself that he was there to sort of talk about it, but he was. And that turned into the interview, because I said, if you'd want, like, and he made the point, well, no, he didn't make the point, I made the point, and then he copied me, that it's you in chat, but there's loads of people talking. So it'd be easier if you just came on the phone and, like, talked on a stream. Through, it's not a phone, I give him a link, you know, but it just come on the stream and talk. So that's turned into an impromptu interview, because he said, like, in order for him to attempt to cover up or, like, what's the word, like, talk his way out of this lie, he decided to come on the stream, and it went from there. And that's the first point where I caught him in a lie there. And during that interview as well, I caught him in another lie, I think, didn't I? But like I say, it's these weird lies that are the most telling in a way, aren't they? Because I think he sort of thought he can just get away with this shit. Like, he'll just say things. He's probably got away with this sort of shit all his life. He probably, well, not got away with it. People probably think he's a weird liar and then ignore him. But, like, he tells little strange lies to make himself look and feel better. Yeah, and that's the worst kind, because that sort of person will tell the big lies and do the worst things because they just don't give a fuck, do they? They're not real to themselves or anyone else.
To Mixcloud.
So yeah, let's get back.
What I'm saying is true, but he tries to ridicule me.
Okay, that was the point. I wasn't trying to ridicule him. There was no attempt to ridicule Eddy. What was happening at this point? I didn't even I hadn't got the neck. I don't remember. Was this before or after Trisha? Can't remember actually. No, this must have been after Trisha, because I argued with him about Trisha in the interview, didn't I? So this was after Trisha. I had got my egg on with him, yeah, but I wasn't doing it to ridicule him. I wasn't trying to pretend he was a liar to ridicule him. I caught him lying, and then he is now a figure of ridicule. Like, I gave him the opportunity to tell me why he was doing this, and he told me a lie. Look, I recorded them at the time of broadcast. He told me a lie. And that's not... He told me a lie about how he got the streams, in the music to upload it. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. But what does that mean about what he told me about his motivation for uploading it? Because I said, why did you upload it? I'm just a record collector. That could be a lie, but I can't fact check it and prove it, because how can you prove that? He's got some records. But you can have records and you could pretend to be a record collector, but you could do this for a different reason. There are different reasons, but you can't trust him now. I certainly don't.
When I put those shows up onto Mixcloud, Mixcloud was just an audio channel. And I basically created Mixcloud to send...
Mixcloud is an audio channel. You didn't create Mixcloud. An audio channel. Mixcloud is a website where you can upload music. And the reason that we use Mixcloud is because, how YouTube's got copyright, and the copyright, yeah? On Mixcloud, it's like, instead of the copyright system being you will get striked for using other people's music, it's like they've covered it all. Mixcloud is going to pay the copyright, and you can use any music. Don't worry about it. That's a really rough way of explaining it. So on Mixcloud, you don't get any copyright strikes at all. You do your radio shows with all other people's music, and you still have your stuff on Mixcloud. No one kicks it off. Like, they're all right with it, yeah? So it's a space for people like that who want to do radio shows. JJ Kane's on Mixcloud. I've got a Mixcloud. Eddy's got a Mixcloud. Most people use it normally. Eddy doesn't. Eddy takes, like I said, this period of time radio, which is like the U-Tree years, and he uploads those anachronistically, which means out of time sync, out of order, just randomly, and pretends it's his archive. And he was friends with a load of other people who have very similar accounts. If you looked at them all, you couldn't tell the difference, other than the fact that they were different ordered shows and different shows, but they'd all just been going. I think there's an archive of radio shows on the internet, and I think they just go there and download them from there and then upload them to their Mixclouds. So they've got a Mixcloud with this stuff on it, and then I think they connect as a network and talk to each other. I think that's what their Mixclouds are for, and you could call that record collecting if you want.
My shows that I'd done, my shows that I recorded, mine.
Yeah, except when you opened your Mixcloud, you didn't upload your shows that you'd done, your shows that you recorded. I just literally showed it in that other... And that other thing that I keep showing you, this, is called Eddy Vinyl Break Jumps on Stream, and it's on Super Chuffer. I've changed my profile picture this last week. It's on Super Chuffer, so you can just go and watch the whole thing. Like, it's there. And the members' content that surrounds it, the bit before and the bit after, where I talked about him before and I talked about him after, that's there as members' content. Interestingly, members, I should have said this at the start of today's stream, I'm going to drop some members' content onto YouTube that's been members' content, historic members' content, on both channels soon. After this stream, I think I might drop an Alan video. And I don't want to drop them all because, otherwise the new members don't get nothing, but the old members have probably seen him already. And we've got this 17 minutes of Alan interrogating his own daughter-in-law from the stage. That's a good one. So maybe I'll drop that after this. So watch out for that. You might have a video to follow straight onto, depending on time, really, depending on time. Or I might do it at the weekend, or a little bit over Christmas. Just look out for it. Just look out for it anyway, depending on time. But yeah, so I wasn't trying to ridicule him. And this video is up and you can see it, and Mixcloud is not what he's saying, and I think he's being very worried here. Look at his face. I think he's really scared and worried. Like, Scott catches him out in a bang fact lie. Yeah, a bang fact lie.
Okay,
So Scott catches him out in that, and he's got to cover it with another lie.
Bang fact.
And it's not going well for Eddy here, is it? It's like panic stations. Really furious he was in this one, and he went all out, guns blazing. Because what happens if you uncover the truth? What happens if you uncover... First of all, you uncover the lies, then you get to the truth. Yeah? And what happens if you're the person doing the lies, trying to hide the truth? Like, you fucking panic, don't you? You fucking panic.
In its early days, it's completely different now. But what I was going to say was that Scott knows what I'm saying is true, but he tries to ridicule me. When I put those shows up onto Mixcloud, Mixcloud was just an audio channel. And I basically created Mixcloud to send my shows that I'd done, my shows that I recorded, mine. Because people were saying to me in the UK, because I left the UK, they were saying, how do I get, hands on some of your broadcasts, some of the stuff you done?
People in the UK were asking Eddy, how do I get your old radio shows? And he was saying, well, there's no facility for that. Oh, hang on, I could upload them to the internet and you could okay, I'll do that for you. So he opened up a Mixcloud, and then he uploaded George Moonoogian, Steve Wright in the afternoon, Tony Blackburn for about 6 months, and then he uploaded one of his a little bit later. It's not right. It's not right at all, Eddy, is it? Why didn't you just upload your radio shows to your Mixcloud then? You didn't do that. That's not what you did. Until you've had long enough to sort of put one together, maybe? We can all put together a radio show in our bedroom and make it sound like we did it in fucking 1992. I think you're weird.
And I didn't know, and someone suggested there's this new software called Mixcloud. What you can do is you can upload your audio to Mixcloud, and then they can follow you, and they can, or they don't even have to follow you, and they can play it. So that's what I did.
Big ups, Glenn, this is live. We are live now. Everyone is like, what's going on?
I started doing that. I thought, why?
It's live, yeah, we are live. Glenn, I'm talking to you, it's live.
Don't I? I've got these old George Moonoogian shows that I'd recorded in parts. Why don't I put them up? Why don't I simply do that? But I didn't know how to do it because the files wouldn't go up.
Bun, you're getting away with that one now, but any more lies to tell people that it's not live, then you're in trouble.
Because they was in a WAV file. Because I recorded them. Upload your audio to Mixcloud, and then they can follow you, and they can, or they don't even have to follow you, and they can play
They can follow you, or they don't even have to follow you. So following you was the thing he was thinking. Following you, and then what can they do, Eddy? What, send you a message? And then what have you got? Like an open chat that's hidden on the internet somewhere that no one else can see, that is kind of in an innocuous little place. Is that what you've got? A little networking chat somewhere on a Mixcloud where people can find you on the internet. Is that what you've got?
So that's what I did. When I started doing that, I thought, why don't I've got these old George Moonoogian shows that I'd recorded in parts.
Yeah, you'd recorded in parts that he'd sent you, that you'd recorded in parts. Yeah. Throw that in just to make it seem like it's real. Like, oh, and later on when we look back on it, oh, don't you remember? No, I said I recorded it in parts. Why don't I throw that up there? Don't be stupid. You just said, I can tell you why you wouldn't do that. It's because you'd set up your own Mixcloud to upload your own music to send to people across the world. And because if George Moonoogian was dead, which he was, by the time you were on Mixcloud, yeah? When did he die? I don't want to laugh about George Moonoogian's demise, but 2012. Okay, no, it's after Mixcloud, wasn't it? So he could have just still been alive. Mixcloud did exist. I mean, I don't know exactly when Eddy started. No, wait. I know when he uploaded it to Mixcloud. After George Moonoogian was dead, yeah. After he was dead. So, yeah. You don't have to do that, Eddy, because the time you uploaded it to Mixcloud, this website existed, and everyone could download it from there. So, you didn't have to do that. You just thought you'd start off your Mixcloud with a tribute to George Moonoogian, just to confuse everything.
Why don't I put them up? Why don't I
put them up? He's triggered big time, you're right. He's triggered big time. And this is exactly what happens when you touch on the nerves of a liar like this, isn't it? Have you ever, like I've been in situations where I've caught people out for lying. I mean, I used to run a hairdressing salon. People used to steal my fucking colour out the colour cupboard, shit like that. You know when people are lying. and you say it to their face, you catch them out for it, and they fucking squirm and lie and do it more. And what are you going to do? Like, you're not the police, and you can't put them on a lie detector, but and they know, and they just lie and lie and lie. And it's like a relationship thing. Like, for me, it's a done. We're not friends. We're not talking. I don't want to know. I don't suffer fools gladly. I don't hold grudges, but also I don't. I forgive people and I move on, but I don't keep them in my life and I won't talk to them again. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I won't accept a forgiveness and an apology from a fucking narcissist, because they'll just do it to you again. Like, this is a big this is huge red flags. That's what this is. Red fucking flags.
Put those shows up onto Mixcloud. Mixcloud was just an audio channel, and I basically created
George, his name is George Anthony Moonoogian, but I can't say it, so I call him Moonoogian, and he's dead, so he can't fucking argue with me. But bless him, he seemed like a nice guy. I hope he's not a fucking Jimmy Savile. He's got loads of records and American football, and he's in America enjoying his old music. So he had a great time. I don't think there's any, George Moonoogian is not the subject of any negativity. Eddy stole his fucking radio shows and pretended he knew him. And if you've got those emails, Eddy, and you can prove that you knew George Moonoogian and he was emailing you back then fucking show us, because they'll still be in your fucking email account, won't they?
Claire to send my shows that I'd done, my shows that I recorded, mine.
But to be honest, you could easily fake those up, so...
When I put those shows up onto Mixcloud...
Like, it's really convenient that the only person who we can fact check this with is dead.
Mixcloud was just an audio channel, and I basically created Mixcloud to send my shows that I'd done, my shows that I recorded, mine. Because people were saying to me in the UK, because I left the UK...
So why did you upload George Moonoogian?
They were saying, how do I get, hands on some of your broadcasts, some of the stuff you done? And I didn't know, and someone suggested there's this new software called Mixcloud. What you can do is you can upload your audio to Mixcloud, and then they can...
It's not software, it was a website.
Follow you, and they can, or they don't even have to follow you, and they can play it. So that's what I did. When I started doing that, I thought, why don't I've got these old George Moonoogian shows that I'd recorded in parts. Why don't I put them up? Why don't I simply do that? But I didn't know how to do it, because the files wouldn't go up, because they was in a WAV file, because I recorded them.
What?
Because I couldn't open them. Why?
You couldn't open them because George sent them to you, but you recorded them in a format you couldn't open with the adverts. You what?
Why can't you understand that, Scott?
Why I can't understand it is because it doesn't make any logical sense what you just said. You said that he sent them to you and you recorded them, and he sent them to you in a format you couldn't open, and you recorded them in a format you couldn't open or upload to YouTube. But then finally Mixcloud comes along and you still can't upload them to Mixcloud, and that's how they got uploaded to Mixcloud in two halves. Why I can't understand that? Because it doesn't make sense, does it, Eddy? If you recorded them, you recorded it in one big chunk. If you sent it to you, he sent it to you in one big chunk. This is not what happened. George recorded his radio shows. When he died, they uploaded them to the internet for people to download, and the file sizes were such that they did it in two halves sometimes, the majority. Some of them are just one stream download because they were shorter streams. But the ones that go over an hour are in two halves. And what you did, Eddy, is you went on here and downloaded them in two halves and then uploaded them to your Mixcloud. Why is that not sinking in for you, Eddy? Why is that not sinking in for you?
You know that you have to convert.
You know. Wait, where is it?
You know. You know.
Why can't you understand that, Scott? You know that you have to convert files to MP4.
Sorry? And how would you convert files to MP4, Eddy? There's two ways, isn't there? You can get an audio converter and then you just convert them, so then you can upload them. What's that got to do with it? If you know that and I know that, why is it even an issue? You got them in MP4, you couldn't upload them, so then you converted them and uploaded them. So that little step doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't prove that you did anything. You just converted them and then uploaded them, did you? What does it matter? And on top of that, while you were doing it, if you used a program like you do, remember, because you're this big media man that does all these clever things on the internet with your clever songs and all that, you know, first time in widescreen in the studio, why didn't you put them in one file? When you did that, you could have put the two MP4s on the thing, the timeline, and then one file. I don't know, it doesn't make any sense what you're saying, Eddie. So you found it difficult to convert them because you couldn't open them, you couldn't convert them. That's the proof that you recorded them and uploaded them to Mixcloud instead of downloading them off the internet. That's the proof, is it?
Know that. When I recorded George Moonoogian in parts, it was normally the parts where he mentioned me in his...
No, what you uploaded was the entire radio show in two halves, just like he had on his website.
Shows. It was when he played me songs and I would record, he would say to me...
And I don't remember him mentioning you, but we could go and listen to those radio shows and find out if he does.
In an email, he would say, Eddie, I'm going to play your...
Oh, I see. He didn't mention you now. He just realised that if he says that as part of the lie, he'll immediately be caught out when we go and listen to the radio show, won't he? So now he's going to mention him on the radio, but not on the radio. He's going to mention him in an email. He mentioned him.
When I recorded George Moonoogian in parts, it was normally the parts where he mentioned me in his shows. It was when he played me songs and I would record. He would say to me in an email, he would say, Eddie, I'm going to play your... gosh, that sun's come around. He said that I'm going to play your, you know...
Having a little mental struggle there, keeping on the story. Gosh, that sun's... Let's think about the sun for a minute so that I can gather some time to get my fucking story together.
Quest between, you know, 1 and 2 and stuff like that. And what I did was that I...
George would tell Eddie that he was going to play his music request on his American radio show at a certain time, and Eddie would tune in and record it from the UK in a file format that he couldn't listen to.
Would set my thing to record, and I used a software called Audacity.
There you go. Boom. In Audacity, you get a timeline. So if you're recording in Audacity... And this, okay, we're talking about years ago now, but Audacity hasn't really changed. Although every time I open it, it tells me it wants to update it. Skip. Skip update. Close that. I'll show you Audacity. I've got the Audacity. To show you Audacity, how about them apples? This is Audacity. Looks like this. Well, it looks like this because there's nothing happening because there's no recording. But if I press record and talk into it, 1, 2, check, Chuffy, 1, 2. I'm on Audacity now and I'm recording. Whoa, you'll notice. And then there's my recording there, yeah. And it's like really quiet and muffled because I haven't got the right audio set up with the... wait, let me just send this. Now we're doing some recording and you should be able to hear me a lot better. No, you can't hear me at all. So it's not working for me. But there you go. It's Audacity and it recording. What's going on here? Recording device, cable. I'm sending the cable. Let's just have my microphone. Not the headset, this microphone. Let's do that. I just want to prove it. 1, 2, check, Chuffy, 1, 2. I'm in Audacity and I'm recording, yeah? So, like, there's my Audacity recording now. That's his radio show that he's recorded, yeah? But he's got 2 halves, hasn't he? He's got 2 halves. And what you can do in Audacity is let's just edit, copy that and delete it. The second half is now being recorded. This is radio show number 2. So I've got 2 radio shows now in 2 halves. And what I can do is just edit, paste. There's there's the whole thing. First thing I said and the second thing. Look, watch. 2, check, Chuffy, 1, 2. I'm in Audacity and I'm recording. Half is now being recorded. This is radio show number 2. So why on earth, when he used Audacity to record it, and he had the 2 files that were separate, didn't he put them both into Audacity as they were in Audacity already and make them one? That would be the most sensible and easy thing in the world to do. That's what you do in Audacity. It doesn't make any sense, Eddie.
That's what it was called. It was called Audacity. And what I did was, I simply found a way of basically grabbing it, but you could only grab it live. I couldn't download the file, Scott. Okay,
you couldn't download the file until he died and they put it on the internet, and then you could. And that happened before you did your Mixcloud. So you could have downloaded the file before you did your Mixcloud. But you're telling me you didn't have that file and you uploaded a recording that you made on Audacity, that you recorded in a format that you couldn't upload or open. Even though in Audacity you have the choice about which format to record in and export in. Even if it was recorded in the wrong format, you could export it in a different format. And you recorded it in two halves, even though your Audacity would have recorded it in one big chunk. And you didn't then put it into the Audacity and fix it.
Explain that. When I put those other radio...
And George Moonoogian also sent it to you in a file format you couldn't open back in the MySpace days. Because you were friends talking on emails.
Shows up. I recorded them. On my Square Disc channel now... I've put up a Johnny Walker breakfast show. I've put up two Steve Wright in the afternoon and a Steve Wright Sunday love songs, a Kenny Everett radio show from many years ago, and Brian Matthews' Sounds of the 60s, his very last show. And but I had to record them all. I had to literally listen to them all. I couldn't download a file, and then you know that, Scott. Why are you trying to make me look like an idiot or a liar when you're the one that's lying, because you know that's the only way you can get it on YouTube?
This is the Radio Archive. The Radio Digital Archive allows BBC staff to search, listen, download. So maybe the staff can do it and I can't, I don't know. But there's an archive and it's got all the fucking radio in it. And also there's this thing called Old Time Radio Internet Archive. So there's an archive on the internet of fucking loads of radio shows, look. And it's just... like, I mean, between that and this, like, you're telling me on the internet there isn't a place where you can go and download Steve Wright in the afternoon if you need to get it for your Mixcloud, like somewhere on the internet. What about the other people that used Mixcloud as well? Like, they've uploaded it. I can't go through all of Mixcloud and confirm that Eddy was the first one to upload Steve Wright in the afternoon, can I? Like, surely you were not going to say that the fact that you've uploaded Steve Wright in the afternoon on YouTube proves that you recorded it yourself. Like, how does that prove it? The fact that it's on the internet itself, and that the fact that when it was broadcast on the fucking internet. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you on about? Again.
You know.
What are you on?
Harassment, unwanted behaviour.
What are you on?
You know what shouldn't be on YouTube.
Woke bollocks number 2. I'm a cat.
How long ago was what, Scarlett? This thing that I'm reacting to was November the 2nd, but I'm bringing it up now. Now's my choice and time to do Eddy's Lies today. Scarlet Spear.
George Moonoogian.
Or what? Which ago was what? There's Mixcloud, or what? Any of it? Like the Mixcloud stuff was. Scarlet Spear is quite an interesting name, isn't it? The Mixcloud was done. I mean, it's deleted now. It's deleted now, but all the facts and the times of the Mixcloud are recorded on this stream, where I call him out, called Eddy's Vinyl Break Jumps on Stream on Super Chuffer, the original episode with the interview. So there are different things that he uploaded. They're there on the screen. I don't think you can see the dates on them there, but certainly on the before and after. Like, I recorded me looking at his Mixcloud and looking at it all, so certainly we've got the dates on all that stuff. In the Eddy, there's a before and after section which is there as members content, so I could dig it out. But this Mixcloud stuff that he uploaded was before he was Eddy's Vinyl Break on YouTube. I think it was a few years before that.
Was broadcast.
Why am I being mean to you? I wasn't. I said your name was interesting, Scarlet Spear.
Before Mixcloud existed, before YouTube existed. Why can't you get that into your thick skull? You are crazy, man. Everything you've said that I've lied about, I've proved that you're the liar. Everything from cross-dressing, the drugs you're taking, from your dad losing his driving licence. There's loads of them. There's loads and loads and loads and loads and loads. And Kevin, who, kind of lost it a little bit there, and I said to him, it's okay to swing both ways. I know that you like Scott. I know you like me. It's okay, Kevin. And I mean that, Kevin. it's okay to like.
Why we got to know about this? What's going to happen? What about George Moonoogian, mate?
Both. People far worse than you on YouTube. Far, far worse.
There's a train going past.
Blitz worse. Absolute talk about you to anybody.
He's off
I'm
it.
talking about someone that just watches my channel.
Where's the Moonoogian stuff?
You have my telephone number.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone.
You can call me.
It's gone. The Moonoogian stuff's gone. So there you go. That's the lie about George Moonoogian. He talked his way out of it there, right proper, didn't he? By yelling that I know more than anyone that if you've got an M4V file, you can't upload it to YouTube. Like, how did he get himself out of that lie? He didn't. He got absolutely caught fucking bollocks in the rat trap, didn't he? Absolute bollocks in the rat trap. Big ups. Bollocks in the rat trap. Do you want me to address Kevin now since his name came up? I feel really bad if other people don't want to be in the same, like, you know, place, but we can all just get over it and move on. Like, I think if Kevin is mean to anyone, he gets banned straight up, like everyone else. That's fine. So yeah, absolutely treacherous traitor. This was bullshit. This was bullshit. Do you want to do Christmas? Or do you want to do the Eddy songs? What was the other thing I promised you? We had the two lies.
I know that people in Scotland the refrigerator from you, and I've still got the receipt. I can bring it in. And I was waiting for the punchline where the person said, "Well, sir, you must have the wrong number because we don't sell fridges." And it went viral. Now
we had the two lies.
You need to try.
Like, what a fucking strange weirdo. Oh yeah, Greg Wallace. We did Greg Wallace next, isn't it? Greg Wallace. Great. Cool. We'll shift gear to Greg Wallace. We'll shift gear to Greg Wallace. Everyone's got their own theme song, right? Greg Wallace doesn't have a theme song.
What?
Oh, actually, before this, well, I was going to finish with the Eddy song, wasn't I? But I've got a new Eddy rap to do, but I was going to play an Eddy song. It's out of sync, isn't it? We haven't got a Greg Wallace song.
Swimmer recruit, you're my superior officer, stop or I'll shoot my lord.
I mean, I'm obviously not going to have a Greg Wallace song, am I? But I should have prepared one, maybe. I mean, if I was on MasterChef.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Seeing you in that swimming pool, being near you on the wrestling mat, you sat on me, I was sat on by you, I felt my wedgie, you knew the truth. I'm your hot swimmer recruit, you're my superior officer, stop.
This is Eddy's done a Christmas song, hasn't he? And he loves going on about his Christmas song. So this is a couple more bits of sad act from Eddy. There's a couple more bits of sad act. Eddy's vinyl breaks. Yeah, sad Eddy's vinyl breaks. And Square Dicks has got another pop music quiz. Right? He loves going on about his Christmas song, which he says is doing really well, doesn't he? His Christmas song is doing really well. I should have lined this up properly.
Indeed, it was written by me, and it's been doing really, really well.
There it is, really, really well. Got it, bang.
Good luck with
bang
quiz number 4 if you're going to have a crack at those as well. I promised you I was going to play my Christmas song to end like I like to do. It was released on the 25th of November. It's actually been doing really, really well. So thank you so much let me line it up for you. I'm going to have a crack at singing along with it.
He's not going to sing, he's just going to pretend to sing like a bellend. But he says his Christmas song's doing really, really well. Yeah, his Christmas song is called Christmas, Christmas Baby, and it's got 228 views. It's not doing very, very well. It's shit. It's shit. It's like, it's an amalgamation of the sort of Christmassy songs you've heard. It's shit. But in contrast to that, all you have to do is type in Send Trees. If you've got Send Trees, yeah. And the Christmas song that I'm about to play, you won't be on there, so fuck you. Because Send Trees has got to have some new uploads, and it's going to. We're dropping Christmas. We're dropping I Can't Believe It's Not Eddy. We're dropping Wedger Wave. We're pumping them out. It's going to start December, a couple of days from now. Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. Send fucking trees. This is what you're getting. For me, your presents is going to be loads and loads of songs that I've got to get off the back burner. They might not have good videos, all of them. They might just have real, simple videos with just, one funny AI thing. But they're Christmas. So, to finish the Eddy section, let's listen to my Christmas song about Eddy, and then we'll do the Greg Wallace sexual allegations, or Kirsty Walk.
I wasn't.
Of all people, right? I know, listen, Kirsty Walk is I find this very hard to say now because I'm going to sound like a massive misogynist, but Kirsty Walk is attractive. She's attractive, and when she was doing the MasterChef with her chef whites and all busy, she did look quite attractive. I understand that Chef Greg Wallace probably thought that she was attractive, but it's the worst person to do your sexual, saucy, she does Newsnight and shit. She's really serious. Don't do all the kinky, sexy, time and place, Greg, time and place. And, for crying out loud.
Celebrity MasterChef in 2011, and it was pretty well a joyous experience. It was great fun, the team was fantastic, and the crew was fantastic. I would say one thing, and the one thing is that the fly in the ointment, on occasion, was Greg Wallace.
So we're going to find out what Greg Wallace has been up to. And to be honest, some of it's not the worst stuff in the world. He's not done a Jimmy Savile, but we're going to have a look at that. So first of all, we're going to play a song or two now. Well, one, and this is Christmas Eddy, so fuck you, Eddy, for Christmas. It's called Christmas Stalker.
December rocks around. Santa Claus might be coming to town. But at the train station, everyone knows by now to keep away from Eddy Brown. This Christmas train will run and run, 'cause he spiked the drink of every woman on the platform. You might want to pull a Christmas cracker, but Eddy got you red knickers, he's a Christmas stalker. Put it up, Christmas stalker. Put it up, Christmas stalker. You should know by now, Rudolph and Dancer. Keep away from Eddy Brown, the sneaky romancer with the sleazy ways. If he catches you under the mistletoe, in his gaze, in his stare, red knickers will be on your underwear. Don't you see? This Christmas, send trees. Put it up, Christmas stalker. Put it up, Christmas stalker. Whoa. He spiked the drink of every woman on the platform. You might want to pull a Christmas cracker, but Eddy got you red knickers, he's a Christmas stalker. Put it up, Christmas stalker. Put it up, Christmas stalker. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. This Christmas train will run and run, 'cause he spiked the drink of every woman on the platform. You might want to pull a Christmas cracker, but Eddy got you red knickers, he's a Christmas stalker. Put it up, Christmas stalker. Put it up, Christmas stalker. Whoa.
why my song's better than Eddy, why this one's good, why my songs are better than Eddy and why this one's so good is because it's got that chorus, that catchy chorus. You'll be singing that tomorrow. This Christmas train will run and run because he spiked the drink of every woman on the platform. You might want to have a Christmas cracker, but he's got you red knickers. He's a Christmas stalker. And then Predator. Well, the Predator bit is just brilliant, isn't it? We'll just hear that chorus one more time. The way it comes in, the way it bursts out. That Predator line is just brilliant, isn't it? It slays.
December rocks around.
And yeah, I said slays, yeah, because Christmas. And yeah, this is a better, more original Christmas song than Eddy's, yeah.
Santa Claus might be coming to town, but at the train station, everyone knows by now to keep away from Eddy Brown. This Christmas train will run and run, cause he spiked the drink of every woman on the platform. You might want to pull a Christmas cracker, but Eddy got you red knickers, he's a Christmas stalker. Put it up, Christmas stalker. Put it up, Christmas stalker. You should know by now, Rudolph and Dancer. Keep away from Eddy Brown, the sneaky romancer with the sleazy ways. If he catches you under the mistletoe, in his gaze, in his stare, red knickers will be on your underwear. Don't you see? This Christmas, send trees. Put it up, Christmas stalker. Put it up, Christmas stalker. Whoa, 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 whoa. This Christmas train will run and run, cause he spiked the drink of every woman on the platform. You might want to pull a Christmas cracker, but Eddy got you red knickers, he's a Christmas stalker. Put it up, Christmas stalker. Put it up, Christmas stalker. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. This Christmas train will run and run, cause he spiked the drink of every woman on the platform. You might want to pull a Christmas cracker, but Eddy got you red knickers, he's a Christmas stalker. Put it up, Christmas stalker.
No, oh no. I've just realised this Christmas train will run and run. I can still edit this. It's not been released yet. This Christmas train will run and run because he spiked the drink of every woman on the platform. I could also say this Christmas train will run and run because he grabbed the bum of every woman on the platform. I could say that as well, couldn't I? Well, the artificial intelligence. This Christmas train will run and run because he grabbed the bum of every woman on the platform. You might want to pull a Christmas cracker, but Eddy got you red knickers, he's a Christmas stalker. Predator. It's the funny voices, they just come in my head. They just come in my head. It's just the funny voices come in my head. It's not my fault. They think it's you doing it. I know. The bad you. Yeah, it's not me. No. They don't even get it. What do you mean? Put on the relaxing background music and I'll tell you. Do-dee-doo. Yeah? Do-dee. Yeah? Do. Yeah? Do-dee-doo. They think it's you. Me. You. Me. They do. They thought it was the bad one. You. Me. They think it's you. Me? They think you're doing it. Me? You're doing it. Me? They think you're doing it. You. Me. You. Me. A lot of the time they think, or everything you say, they're like, oh, he said this and it's really serious what he said. Yeah? And they don't know that you're not being serious. I know. They don't, it's like they don't understand things properly. What, them? You think it's them that doesn't understand things properly? Yeah? Don't do your faces. Stop with the face. What are you doing? Is it Morse code? They're not going to understand that. Secret messages or some shit. Send them to me on Mixcloud. Christmas stalker. No, seriously, they think some of the things that they like. He said this, yeah, and they you again. They say he said this, yeah, and it was like not the most serious thing that I said. Like they don't know, yeah. They think what they take it all and they think it's and yeah. Well, I know. What are you going to do about it? I don't know. Predator, yeah. Should we go back to the show? You don't want to go back to the show. I know. I don't even want to look at them. Yeah. I don't even want to look at them. What do you mean? They're in chat now, and I'm looking over here at the picture of me on the telly, yeah? And me on the telly, ooh, yeah? I like that so good. Ooh, you love it. Me, you, me. They think I'm looking at them in chat, yeah? And I'm not. I don't give a fuck. Let them talk. I'm looking at you, me, you. Do you want to have a kissy? Wait, hang on. I don't want a kissy. I don't want a kissy. You might want one. Well, I sort of want one. You know, come closer. Yeah, but you won't be able to do it at the same time. Hang on. Nice kissy. Well, we never quite. I know. You're always over, and I'm always. Oh. Let me just put my hand against the glass. I'm not really here. I'm not really here. What? You know I'm not really here, yeah? You do know I'm not really here. Yeah. Don't pull the face at me. They're still talking in chat. And don't you want to get back there? No, I hate them. To me, they're just fucking dicks and people on the internet. And everyone on the internet is dicks. It's just like a sea of dicks. Yeah? Dicks with little hats and moustaches. Well, they're not moustaches, because some of them are ladies. Dicks and... just a sea of dicks. They could be saying anything. I know. I don't care. You're supposed to be doing your show, Greg Wallace. He's a twat, isn't he? Yeah. Master Chef. I know. Oh, let me taste that. Yeah. That other one on MasterChef went off with that Lisa Faulkner. They're married and everything. I know. And he's a twat as well. I know. He does This Morning as well, doesn't he? Yeah. Wanker. What's his name? I can't remember. He's from Australia. Yeah. But that Lisa Faulkner, she was a right hottie. I know, she was on all the magazines. She had the mole, didn't she? And she was on all the magazines. Yeah, FHM and Maxim. They're still talking in chat now. They're probably talking more. Someone's done a tippy and a member and everything. Fuck them. Fuck them. Might as well end the stream as well. Why? You can just do this off stream. You don't need to be on stream to do this. It's a good point. I mean, I've got a large mirror. They can't see it, but I've got a large mirror. I know. Got them see it. I'm also here. So, should we, you and me, and the mirror? Yeah. You're so funny. I know. I love the way you make me laugh. Give you a kissy. I'm gonna give you a kissy. A big. All right, let's get him back then. Let's go back to this. Thank you very much. I don't want to go back to wait. Get rid of me. Get rid of this. I don't want to go back to that. Don't make me go back to that. They give you a tippy. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to go back to that. Go out and fly your drone, you bell end. Oh, at least the central heating works nice. I know. I'm wearing my gym jams. Leave the tap on in case it freezes. You. Do-dee, do-dee, do-do Greg Wallace. Do-do Greg fucking Wallace now. Do-do-do-do. And Kirsty fucking Walk.
It's going to get worse, isn't it?
Yes.
How intense is it going to get?
That intense.
Right, all right, Kirsty.
All right, Kirsty. She's done the knife at him. Thank you, Seb, for the 99p. Thank you, Star Winters, for the regular membership. Thank you. Thank you. That other chuffer doesn't care for you much, but I do. I would encourage everyone to remember that we're on the internet. Don't be getting any parasocial relationship ideas. All right, you. Listen, you might have become a member. Parasocial relationships. Relationships. Woman's hour. Woman's hour. Because for me, the problem is the ladies. I'm going to get the misogyny out of the way before we do Greg Wallace, all right? But parasocial relationships, how to tell if you're in one and what to do about it. This could happen to you with Greg Wallace. You could think Greg Wallace is so nice that, see, it's someone you don't really know. The illusion is they're so accessible through the blue, because you're on social media. The person's engaging with you directly. I'm engaging with you directly. I am actually. You. Not you. You can sit down. You're all right. You're fine. Just calm down. Behind you, you. But with you directly, you're seeing so much into their personal lives and having access into their real-time responses. Parasocial relationships can be obsessive with an emotional bond that feels authentic and deeply emotional, and it can become triggering. What signs should you look out for? Well, you don't need to worry about it, but some nutters do. So I'll copy and paste that into chat, and those that have got a problem with it can fucking read it instead of fucking coming here and causing problems. Give them some fucking bedtime reading. Unfortunately, it's not been made as an audiobook yet, but you can work your way through it with a dictionary. Right, Greg Wallace. What have you been up to, you bad chuffer?
It's a square one when it comes to tidiness.
Stuff everywhere.
There's stuff everywhere. He complained about stuff being everywhere.
Before they sink quickly.
This is from the Independent newspaper, who, since Greg Wallace has had accusations thrown at him, has decided to unsurface this resurfaced clip, yeah? But it's not... Greg Wallace and Kirsty Walk clash in MasterChef kitchen in resurfaced clip. What you mean is, someone's gone over the old BBC MasterChef DVD collection and dug out the bits where he's talking to Kirsty and edited them together for a minute clip for your news outlet, hasn't it? Resurfaced clip.
Quick, let's go. Whoa!
Whoa!
Let me just chip something.
Look, but what you want to note here is he's gone whoa like that, yeah? But look, she's not being misogynistic here. I thought Kirsty Walk, I've been saying it all stream, is very serious. She does Newsnight, and she is, and she does. But here she is out of the Newsnight environment, having a bit of fun, doing some cooking, and she is attractive. I'm not trying to be misogynistic. I can understand that Greg has probably got a little bit excited here. Kirsty's in the building. Kirsty with a Sarah Lee, right? And he's got a bit excited, and he's took his shirt off, maybe. Obviously, I think he shouldn't have done that, but I can see his motivation is that she's attractive, she's on the show. I think that's where this picks off. Like,
Chip something off you. How long have I got?
Now. 2 minutes, please. How you doing, Kirsty?
Fine, thank you.
Because you should be serving by now.
she should be serving by
Come
now.
on, Kirsty, is it important where the last blueberry goes?
Oh, they're giving her shit because she's not hurrying up.
Yes, I'm 48% fear, 52% excitement. I'm just going to make sure it doesn't tip over.
It's going to get worse, isn't it?
Yes.
How intense is it going to get?
That intense.
Right, all right.
They do that thing with the Independent on top of it because she threatens him with a knife, but it's only a joke. So, Kirsty Walk is not happy though.
The first time that I suppose we were subjected to a kind of sexually inappropriate story was it was very early morning, and we were in a retirement home, and the crew was in a room with the contestants, Jonto Road, and we were getting ready. We'd each been given a recipe that one of the residents was a favourite baking recipe, and that we were going to do our best to bake for them, and then they were going to come to the kitchen and they were going to judge it. And Greg Wallace came in and launched into a soliloquy, essentially a story of a sort of sexually inappropriate nature about his, well, now former wife. And I was
Listen,
really
I wouldn't like that because I'm a prude, remember? The prude who put my willy in Alan's mouth.
I thought, what is this about? You
No,
know,
but I understand. Listen, this is they're working together. They're on the telly. Greg shouldn't be doing this. Like, I'm not going to make jokes about sexual discrimination in the workplace to that extent. But at the same time, you know, we are also going to just like talk our way through this in a sort of light-hearted and jovial, as light-hearted and jovial way as we can, because it's not as bad as the Jimmy Savile, I guess. But Kirsty's very cross, basically. Like,
I was angry because I thought, this is just not on.
It's not on.
You know, we were essentially a captive audience, and it wasn't as if it was anyone engaged with this. It was completely one-way traffic.
They don't even think he's funny.
But I think people were uncomfortable, and something that I really didn't expect to happen. I felt uncomfortable. I felt angry rather than anything else. You know, the thing is that, you know, my livelihood didn't depend on my being on MasterChef, but the livelihood of a lot of people in that program did, and it's a very insecure industry. It looks like a glamorous industry.
Also, we did see that they were having a bit of a spat on MasterChef, didn't we? I wonder if she was just generally eggy, but like, if you're eggy, like that's, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with her being eggy. Like, if you're eggy and he's coming in and doing like the sexy, saucy, like, you're gonna be even more eggy, aren't you, about it all? It's like, you know, I don't know.
Industry. It's an insecure industry. So you would have runners, producers, camera crew, executives, all with rents and mortgages and so forth. And I wonder if they just felt they couldn't speak out.
Why didn't they sack him? Like, why don't they just not book him if he's a nightmare problem? Like, this is one of the things that I understand. This is like one of the things I'm a bit confused about, and I'll ask you in chat, I suppose. Is I'm going to read through it and talk it through. My first question is, like, he's causing problems behind the scenes. Yeah, like, why do they keep booking him for these shows? Is it the BBC? Is it the Jimmy Savile effect? I just think the first sign of this, wouldn't you just be like, right, Greg, we're going to have you in the office. You're on a three strike system, and Kirsty Walker's explained that you've already done all your strikes, so we don't want you coming back for inside the factory. You're just done. But it is a bit off, yeah. Like, the thing is as well, though, right? I think what we're going to see in this story is there's going to be some behaviour that we probably all would think isn't that bad in the right context. And like, obviously, I've done putting my willy in Alan's mouth, and I'm on the internet. But here, it's different than if I was doing the MasterChef judging. So I don't know if this is as much a Me Too, you know, sexual, like, you know, women speak out thing, as much as a like, because like, even if it was a man, and like, you know, not being sexist here, but like, you know, in a workplace where there's men, you can still feel uncomfortable if people are doing weird conversations and taking their shirts off and stuff, can't you? Like, I think it's about his position as the show's host and judge, and their positions as she said, like runners, other people on it, etc. But I never realised Greg Wallace was so important that they couldn't just say to him, "Shut up, Greg, stop doing that, or leave." Like, it feels like one of those things that if it was a problem, then someone should have said, "This is like." And it, like, I understand people find it difficult to speak up and speak out on these sort of things. However, like, it's not the sort of thing that you can't speak up and speak out about as much, because it's like to me, I would have said it to him. Like, if I felt like he was, like, I'd have been like, "We're supposed to be doing the MasterChef. Can you just fucking shut up about this now?" But then maybe I'd just, you know, maybe I'm undermining the seriousness of the misogyny, and I don't want to do that. So let's be careful. But do you know what I mean? Greg Wallace. Let's be careful around Greg Wallace.
Wallace's lawyers say it is entirely...
From the start, please.
Television host Greg Wallace has been accused of making lesbian jokes constantly by a woman who worked on a travel show with him. The woman, who we are calling Anna.
Okay, so I haven't read this, so I'm about to find out as well. So, like I said, I've got a skimmed overview, but I haven't. So I'll tell you as I go. And at the end of it, if I'm still a misogynist, then you can tell me off. But I'm on the side of feminism. Remember, I'm a feminist matriarch household, so I don't think I'm some bad misogynist like Greg Wallace. I wouldn't be getting my shirt. Well, I do get my shirt off all the time in front of you. I do this, don't I? I go, ooh. But we're not in the workplace, and it's not MasterChef, and you don't have to watch. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bad misogynist for doing that. We'll find out. You can tell me.
The woman, who we are calling Anna, said he was fascinated by the fact she dated women and asked her the logistics of how it worked. She is one of a number of workers across a range of shows who came to BBC News with claims about the TV presenter.
Got it, right. I'm assuming everyone knows what a misogynist is, because I think there's some people out there, not in our chat, but they might misogynist. There might be some people who are
misogynist.
A person who dislikes or is strongly prejudiced against women. And I tell you something, that ain't me, babe. See what I did there with babe. Sorry, I feel like I have to explain my jokes because otherwise people might think I'm too serious. Me, too serious. That ain't me, babe. It's a song, but also it's misogyny. Oh, forget it. Forget it. Forget it. I like women. I want to shag them. That's what Eddy said, didn't he? Eddy said, I like women because they've got tits, and I like tits. Didn't he say that? Do you remember? Eddy likes the titties. Anyway, get back to Greg Wallace being a fucking lesbian hater or something.
On Thursday, MasterChef's production company said Wallace is to step away from presenting the show while allegations of historical misconduct are investigated. Wallace's lawyers say
Talking of historical misconduct, I did a Super Chuffer episode on Twitch last night. You won't see it on there now because it's not there now. I ended up just talking about Operation Conifer, something that was on the back burner for a little while that I wanted to look at. So I did a few hours talking about Operation Conifer, an interesting historical allegations case. And I'm going to throw it up on Super Chuffer probably over the weekend, so look out for that. And I'm going to be doing more, so look out for that.
Wallace's lawyers say it is entirely false that he engages in behavior of a sexually harassing nature. MasterChef's...
I guess that's where the line is, isn't it? That's where the question is, where's the line? Is it sexual harassment? Like, in some ways, he could think he's being good-natured and just, telling jokes and having a laugh, and he's not trying to do sex to these women. But by bringing sex into it and constantly having sex as the subject, some people feel uncomfortable about that. And they, that's the nature of the sexual harassment, isn't it? Creating that uncomfortable atmosphere. So maybe it is. What do you think? Tell me in chat, do you think that the lawyers are right or Greg's right? I mean, you haven't heard all the things yet, but...
MasterChef's production company Banijay UK has launched an investigation and said Wallace is cooperating. Downing Street said allegations about Wallace were deeply concerning.
Downing Street?
A number 10...
That's the fucking Prime Minister.
The
Prime Minister watches MasterChef and he's deeply concerned.
A number 10 spokesman said it was right that a thorough investigation is conducted, but that this, of course, is one for the BBC. While that process is underway, it wouldn't be right for me to comment, the spokesman added. Other allegations the BBC has heard are that Wallace talked about spanking and threesomes in front of crew. In a video posted on Instagram on Thursday evening, Wallace said, "I would like to thank all the people getting in touch, reaching out and showing their support. It's good of you. Thank you very much."
Right. Next bit. I'm going to have to do this in little chunks. I'm going to try and set up two of these concurrently, but bear with me while I just use my brain on two websites at the same time. Bit more text in here. I'm not going to read the fucking news. I'm going to make this read it for me. Thank you very much. And we can listen to it like this. Continue.
Anna worked on Greg Wallace's Big Weekends in 2019. She told us that Wallace regularly talked about sex and about domination and spanking. Was highly inappropriate, she said. She says he also constantly made comments about her sexual orientation, including when he met her partner. "I date women, and Greg Wallace was fascinated by that," she said. She added that he asked her if she was sure she didn't want to date men.
So he's talking to her about her like relationship. He's not trying to get her into bed himself then maybe, but he's interested in an aspect of her personal life that she feels maybe is a bit inappropriate.
She added that he asked her if she was sure she didn't want to date men.
Or did he was that him trying to get her to date him? I suppose you'd have to be there and understand it, wouldn't you?
Another woman, who we are calling Georgina, worked on the BBC's Eat Well for Less TV show with Wallace in 2019. She says he would constantly say inappropriate things to her, such as making comments that his wife was only 2 years older than her.
I suppose it's about how old she is. Like he's saying that he's got a young wife to her she's also young. Is that what we're saying? What surprises me about this as well is that if he's saying these comments to these women and there's problems, why does he keep getting the jobs? This is back in 2017. But maybe it's this patriarchal culture. Maybe that's an issue that's still, like, you know, majorly an issue. Like some of it seems fairly innocuous, but I'm surprised he's like got this consistent track record of doing it in his workplace like this. Like it sounds like he's a bit of a creeper, and that the ladies think he's a bit of a creeper. Like, go on.
She says he would constantly say inappropriate things to her, such as making comments that his wife was only 2 years older than her. It made me uncomfortable, she said. What am I meant to say in response to that? On another occasion, she says she had to go to Wallace's car to sort out his parking ticket for him. She asked him if that was okay, to which he allegedly responded, "You can come to my car, but can you handle the fact everyone will think you just got off with a celebrity?"
So let's take that one. I'm going to ask you in chat. I need your opinion because I'm a bit like on the fence here. Like, I know that I should definitely argue against the misogyny, and these women are coming forward and saying he's done the misogyny on them, yeah? But he said, you can come to my car, but can you handle the fact everyone will think you just got off with a celebrity? Because this woman needed to go to the car about a parking ticket. You can come to my car, but can you handle the fact everyone will think you just got off with a celebrity? Because we've been off together. Like, is that... Like, it's really, for me, it's like probably up against the line of... I kind of want to say it's not that bad. Like, do you know what I mean? But I don't want to undermine it. Being a bit serious now. But, like, you know, is that bad? I suppose it's about context again, isn't it? Like I said at the start, it's about time and place. Context, who you're saying it to and where. And, like, you know... It's a sort of cheeky joke that I could imagine, like, you know, people making in normal society and no one giving too much... Like, not the celebrity bit, because I don't know any celebrities, but, you know... Like, people make all sorts of cheeky jokes. They certainly do on the internet, don't they? But a bit of banter. Yeah, banter. There's a good word. Banter. Everest. Efster. There's a bit of banter. But then, like, banter in the workplace with the ladies that, like, you know, are having to go to the car outside with him. Like, it puts them on... Like, I think it's a situation where if you were, like... I would probably not say it to a lady unless I wanted her to feel creeped out, because she's about to go to the car with him outside. So the context is going to make her feel creeped out. So I think probably don't say that to the lady. Not because of me thinking about whether it's misogynistic or not, but me thinking she'll probably think it's really creepy because now we're about to go out of the car. And like, I've sort of raised that funny... Like, you know, I'd probably... If I was at a party and I wanted to snog a lady... And like we'd been dancing and she said, "Oh, I just want to go out to the car to get something. Can you help me?" And I'd say, "Well, you know, you can come out, but people might think we're snogging." You know, I'd say that at a party to a lady like that. Yeah, you know, no problem. So that's the thing I'm finding difficult about it is, but we're not at a party, are we? He's at work. So like he might work in Telus, but he's still at work, isn't he? Production office, whatever. Like, so maybe that's the cut of the green there, the rub of the green.
She asked him if that was okay. To which he allegedly responded,
"He's a creep. Does he do it only to females? Then it's not banter." There's a good shout to Lula. There's a good shout. Very interesting point. Like, banter is different when you do it to males and females, huh? Like, I'm not a prude, am I? Like, I stick my willy in Alan's mouth. Like, I make lots of crude remarks. Listen, misogyny... Like, I'm definitely not a misogynist. I know that. Greg Wallace, though. Greg Wallace. Seems like he thinks he's pretty special and a bit saucy, doesn't he? Sexual banter. Yeah, sexual banter. I suppose when you put it like that, sexual banter, right? It's really straightforward. It shouldn't be in the workplace, should it really? But I've worked in so many places where it's completely gone on as well, haven't I? Especially when I was a hairdresser, I started out as a brush pusher. I started out as a Saturday boy, as a hair washer, as a junior, yeah? And so I'd be in a room full of women, most of them would be getting their hair done, the others would be doing the hair, and I'd be the only boy sometimes. And like some of the things they said to me, like, I even said it out loud. It's like, you know, if this is like sexual harassment, but they would, like, it wasn't even like a, you know, I'd play along with it a bit because, you know, saucy, anyway. But like, you know, like like not just even saying like, you know, I've been in situations where the workmen have shouted at a woman on the street, "Well, hey, love, if we had a chat with someone on Twitter about this the other day, or if you were the workmen shout at the women, if you were my daughter, I'd still be bathing you." And then it's like the women are not going to listen to that and think, "Oh, that sounds good." I'd love to see you in the future. Can I have your number? Are they? They're going to think that sounds horrifically pervy. Stay away. I'm glad that you're up there on the scaffold, not down here chasing me around. Like, so, like, it just, I don't understand, like, for me, like, because I've worked on the building sites and I've heard a few catcalls and things, you know. I don't understand why, like, the purpose of it in terms of, like, if you ever see that woman again, she's going to run away from you. Like, it doesn't achieve, like, if you like the lady and you think she's attractive, then shouting obscenities at her is going to, like, it's going to put her off, if anything, isn't it? So I don't understand, like, why people do it necessarily in that way. In the workplace, like I said, a bit of jokes, but I understand that we're in a world where if it's the man who's a bit more higher up in the power thing and he's making the sex jokes on the young ladies, then it's a bit of a different thing, isn't it? Like, so yeah, I understand that. Yeah. Have I ever done streaks or foils? Of course I have. I've done all I used to run my own salon. I've done it all to everyone, and I've had it all done to me as well. Yeah. Have I said no to a hairstyle? Yes. I've said no to a few hairstyles and to customers. You know what I'm like. You know what I'm like. There's been a couple of people I've said, "Thank you very much, don't even bother getting like, usually you finish the hairstyle, you take them into the reception, you do the money, and then you say, "Can I book you in another appointment?" Like, you want to do that with people. "Can I book you in another appointment?" And some of them I've said, "Don't even think about asking me for another appointment. You ain't getting one with me. Fuck off. Get out." Do you know what I mean? Yeah, we've had situations like that, yeah. For good reasons, thank you very much. And like when I used to have the other ladies that worked in the salon, and you know, they'd have difficult customers, and I'd be able to come in and say, "Oh, I'm the manager around here, actually. Thank you very much. This is my salon with the name on the door. You can fuck off. She's done really good work, and I'm not having you say this about her. Leave." And I think some of the younger ladies thought that their boss would be cross or something sometimes, and I just like back them, and then like, yeah, I've had a few uncomfortable customers, but every business will. There's some really weird people out there. Like one woman that really springs to mind on this, I was in the room while she asked specifically if you could not put the colour in the top of her hair. She did not want the colour here. That was the specific request. Put the foils in everywhere, not here. And then the stylist said, if you don't do that, when you tie your hair back, it won't look right. It will look like there's bits missing, and it will look strange when you tie your hair back. And I see that you tie your hair back. And she said, "No, I know what I do with my hair." And I thought this is a difficult customer. I don't want to be, you know, maybe we should just do what she says, yeah? So she does the job. The next day, she comes back. The girl's not in the salon. It's me that's there, right? And she comes back and she says, "I want my money back. She hasn't put the colour here. It's not right." Thinking that I wasn't going to pay attention when I heard I was in the other bit of the salon. I could hear the conversation. I know what was said. And she tried to fucking screw me for the money, or at least get me to fucking admit that it was right. I just said, "Can we talk about this outside? Because we've just got a customer." And we went outside, I like locked the door, and I said, "We're not talking about it in there, because I'm about to tell you to fuck off." I was in the room, I heard. I know what she said. "You can fucking do one. 0121. Take your fucking hair. Go over the road there and get it done over there. Fuck you." Yeah, we had a bit of that. We had loads of really good customers, and you're not going to spoil it with a few bad apples like that, and you're certainly not going to allow them to push your staff around and to make people feel uncomfortable and small because they think they can get free money and stuff like that. There's a few bad apples out there, I'll tell you. There are, yeah. There's a few bad apples. They didn't want it here. The reason they want, I realise now, is the reason they did it, so when they came back it could look like a mistake. They could get the money back from me, and then they've had the big expensive job done, and they just need 2 foils here, and then it's fixed. Do you know what I mean? It's a way of scamming for the money, I reckon, because they specifically said it. Or maybe she changed her mind later, in which case she could have just had the 2 foils. We'd have done it for free. She wanted all this money back. The girl had spent hours foiling all of her hair. Just left these 2 bits out the front. Like, get away. Get off. Go fucking swivel. That was just one. There was the lady as well. There was one lady where she had the fur coat, and I was like, is this fur? And she was like, yes, it's real fur. It's really expensive, rah, rah. And I was like, put it back on and don't come here. You know, you take the coats off them and you sit them down. I was like, just put it... I don't think it went like that. I think she'd been in before. I think, maybe it was when I put the coat on at the end. It might have been one of those where I was like, you know, don't ask me for another appointment. I don't want to do it. Let's not go over the greatest hits of me being a bad hair salon owner, because customers are always right and all that, aren't they? But I think if you've ever run a hair salon or a restaurant or anything like that, you will know that not every customer is right, and you treat the majority with the utmost respect, and you bend over backwards for them, and you give people deals and discounts, and you want them coming back. But there are some people who you do not want coming back. It's just more hassle than it's worth, and you're better off without it. And it does go into, in terms of styling as well, there were some jobs I wouldn't take on, like excessive bleaching, where it's going to damage someone's head or burn their hair and stuff like that. No, I get that done down the road, where if it fucks up, they can take the risks and be the one that fucks your hair up, because I'm not fucking it up. No. And ladies wanting their head shaved, if it was for a real reason, they can come back in 2 weeks and explain it to me. We'll do it. But you can't come in on a whim because you look upset and get me to shave your head. That's not happening.
She asked him if that was okay, to which he allegedly responded, "You can come to my car, but can you handle the fact everyone will think you just got off with a celebrity?" Both Georgina and her colleague, who we're calling Lisa, also say he came out of a bathroom topless in front of them once during a shoot and asked them to take his coffee order.
Again, I don't know about that one. He's come out of a bathroom topless, but it's during a shoot. So what does that mean? A film shoot? Was he expected to change his clothes during the film shoot? If so, it's normal on film sets for you to change your clothes and to occasionally be, mid-change. But if it's not normal, if he's there, as the celebrity MasterChef judge, and he's walking around backstage without his shirt on, and everyone else is clothed, that's a bit different, isn't it? So it's about context again for me so far.
Both Georgina and her colleague, who we're calling Lisa, also say he came out of a bathroom topless in front of them once during a shoot and asked them to take his coffee order. "Behavior isn't acceptable," Lisa said. To not only continue to put women in these scenarios, but to continue publicly platforming him is a disgrace to our industry standards.
I mean, Kirsty Walk could have got well eggy with him on MasterChef and got everyone to say that he's bad. I'm not saying she did, but we've got to be careful with these things as well. I understand what was being said in chat. He's doing it all to women, so there is a bit of a pattern there, and we're going to continue and listen to more of the pattern. So it's tipping against him, I think. But you had a man greet you topless when you went to do his garden. He was wearing silk pants. I saw everything. It's not the same. I mean, what? That would be. I'd probably just be like. I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because it's their property and their house as well, and they're the client. With the hairdressing, they come into my salon, so I could say, you can't come in here without your clothes on. Obviously. But when it's someone's house and you can't read, it's hard to say to them, isn't it? Can you put your fucking clothes on? But I suppose and it's even harder. I understand in the reality of the world, the misogyny problem. It's harder for women to say these things to men, basically, isn't it? To feel confident to just say it to them. And some situations where I think, well, you just fucking tell them, wouldn't you? Is a very naive and patriarchal, it's easy for me to say that sort of feeling, isn't it? So yeah. I remember once in the salon, this literally happened, right? Someone was bobbing around under the gown. And the lady thought that they were you know, my stylist thought that they were under the, like, going around under the gown, yeah? So, like, I just said, excuse me, and I just, like, moved the gown, because, like, it's my salon, I'll do what the fuck I want. Maybe I was taking a risk. And they had their phone under, and they were, like, cleaning their phone, like, under the gown. Like, they had the phone out, and they were just, like, doing something under the gown. Another story of a stylist told me when I was training, she said that she was cutting someone's hair, and again, you know, under the gown, thought that. So she whacked it with the comb, and he was cleaning his glasses. Like, people just do things under the gown sometimes. So, like, you know, like, but will we be covering the Dekahegi trial? That's a good shout. Is he going on trial? Yeah, I'm interested in that. I'll have to tell you the whole story. Can't just start off with the trial. I'll have to go back in time and say, well, I lined up on the back burner. I thought about doing it today, but it's not really the feel for today. But Darren G versus Brian Cockrell from a couple of years ago. Like, there's a few videos in that I'd like to just review. I might end up throwing those sort of things up as videos rather than live, or maybe in the week live streams rather than Not to Watch itself, because every Friday, you know, regular routine here. We want to keep it buoyant and breezy. It's an upbeat Friday fun experience, isn't it, with a bit of what the fuck thrown in. So like, you get a revolving carousel of nutters, and Dekahegi's not currently on the carousel, and I don't want to sort of get him on there and keep him on there, because some of them are like horror cows, and he's a bit horrible. So yeah, I wonder what else Greg Wallace has done.
To not only continue to put women in these scenarios, but to continue publicly platforming him is a disgrace to our industry standards.
Well, that's something I agree with.
Georgina said she refused to work on a show with him afterwards.
That's something I agree with. It's if, like, you've got staff that work around this man, you know, if you've got people that work around it and you're the producers, you know, the production team, and you're paying people and you're booking people, like, how do you continue to book Greg Wallace after these continual problems? Big up Bart Simpson. Big up Bart Simpson. Thank you for the membership. I answered your question, but also thank you for the membership. What else has Greg Wallace done? Please tell me. Are you going to run out of speakers?
Another young female worker, who the BBC is calling Amanda, highlighted 2 experiences with Wallace while filming the Channel 5 show, Greg Wallace's Big Weekends, in 2019. The first, she said, was when they were traveling together by car. She said he took out his phone and showed her photos of a woman in her underwear. A second time,
that is bad.
She said they had just finished filming in Italy, and she took him back to his hotel room.
Hang on. So, he took out his phone, he showed her a woman in their underwear. I presume he's, again, this is like context, isn't it? It's difficult. I presume he's like he's not just showing her like pornography, like, oh, here's some saucy bird. Like, I presume he was showing her like someone on Instagram, or like someone's, you know, photos of sort of who happened to be like a saucy model. Like underwear could be, you know, it could be fitness modeling or this or that, couldn't it? It could be like an Instagram post, but maybe it's completely inappropriate as well. I don't know. Like, you know, they could, I imagine there's 2, like, we're imagining he's in the car, he's driving around, you have a look at this saucy bird, and like, you know, doing that. But they could equally have been driving around, and she could have said, oh, have you seen these, you know, my favourite new Instagram person, she could be good for MasterChef, or what's her name? Married to the other MasterChef dude. Oh, I know her name. Yeah, because you said it earlier. Lisa Faulkner. Why can't you remember it then? Well, I'm not you, am I, you fucking knob? I know it. Yeah. Lisa Faulkner. Yeah. Well, why didn't you say it? I'm not you. You couldn't remember it. Yeah. But you knew it. I know. I think you're fucking playing me up, you. Right, Lisa Faulkner. They could have been talking about, you know, dude's wife, the other dude's wife, and you could have said, oh yeah, she used to be on all the magazines, look, that's her cover off Maxim, look, and she'd be in her underwear, you know. So there's context, and you could then later on say, oh, everyone's saying these bad things about Greg Wallace, and we want you to tell us anything bad you've ever, like, Kirsty Walk is offended, and she's on Newsnight, and she knows all these Newsnight people, and they could go around and ask everyone, couldn't they? And they could say, well, once he showed me Lisa Faulkner's picture, I suppose that wasn't too bad, but, you know, I suppose that was inappropriate. Like, certain things you could, like, it's about context, and I'm not saying he's a good chuffer, I'm saying it's about context. So at the moment I'm still a bit like, what? But overall I think he's probably been a creepy chuffer, and the more they pile up, the worse it gets, isn't it? But then again, like, the more it piles up, the worse it gets, is just a way of saying, like, if enough people throw mud, it sticks. But these are all allegations as well, without, like, actual evidence. But then again, I'm not trying to not believe these ladies. Like, I completely believe what they're saying.
She said he started showing them his outfits for the next day, and then took off his top and said, "Let me give you a fashion show."
I'd speak out about Conor McGregor, because I always thought he was a prick. But yeah, I know what you mean. That was fucking awful. You know, that was awful. Yeah, time and place, but like, I've always thought he's a bit of a fucking, you know, thug, isn't it? Some people thought he was brilliant for that, but like, I was always on Team Khabib. I was really pleased about Khabib's approach to it all. You know, when they did that bus thing and he was like, "Just tell me where you are. You know, just tell me. I'll just come. I don't need all my boys. I'll just come." Like, yeah.
She said he started showing them his outfits for the next day, and then took off his top and said, "Let me give you a fashion show." A male colleague was initially in the room, but she said he then left, leaving her alone with Wallace. She said she still remembers the Millwall tattoo on his chest, and that she found the hotel room experience very uncomfortable. It's weird to be alone in a room with a topless stranger. BBC News, which is editorially independent from the wider organization, started investigating Wallace in the summer, after becoming aware of allegations. The claims we have heard are from 13 people across 5 shows from 2005 to 2022. One of them was the broadcaster Kirsty Wark.
We'll get on to her in a second. So I've just found a picture of him with his Millwall tattoo. This is like it's like a recreation of what happened, except it's exactly what happened. Is he's got his top off and he's got a Millwall tattoo, and you're the young what was she? A young female worker on the BBC called Amanda, and you're filming a Channel 5 show called Greg Wallace's Big Weekends, travelling together in the car. He showed you the picture of that lady, and then the next day he's took off his top and said, "Let me give you a fashion show." There was a man in the room as well, but he's gone. So he's in and out, changing into different shirts, giving her a fashion show. I mean, maybe they're trying to decide what he's supposed to wear for the show. And maybe he's literally given them a fashion show by... I find this one a bit weird. Like, imagine like you're in the production room and he said, "I've brought 3 different shirts to wear for the show." And they've said, "Well, which one are you going to wear?" And he said, "Well, let me show you." And he's put them on and took them off. And during that process, one of the other men has left the room and he's carried on changing his shirts. He might not be a predator. But if like he's like, "Let me give you a fashion show, baby," and he's like, you know, doing all this, and the other man in the room's gone, "Oh, bloody hell, Greg's trying it on with this bird," and he's decided to just fucking leave, and now she's in the room and Greg's giving it this, like, then that's bad. So it's, I don't know which is what. Like, neither of those are the actual facts of the matter. These are just like, the facts of the matter are he's done these particular exact things that she said, "I will believe." But I need them to say, I know that she's saying she felt uncomfortable, but I need them to say a bit more like, you know, "I felt that he was trying to creep onto me," or like, "He asked for my number," or like things of that, you know, pushing it a bit further for me to be feeling that he was definitely. But then again, all this sexualized, I don't know, it feels like he might just be like a bit of a fruit rather than like a proper nut. But then again, do you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to judge, isn't it? Although I've never really liked him on the telly. Like, I've never, like MasterChef with him and that fucking other dude. I've never liked that. Him and that other dude. Like, I like the real cooking people, the real chefs. Like, not him and that other dude. As Seb keeps saying, he's not. Like, what's he doing on MasterChef? Like, he don't fucking. Do you know what I mean? I like the other dudes more. I like the Marcus, whatever his name is, Marcus Waring. I like him more than him, and that's saying something, isn't it? Now he's a predator. Kirsty Walk's going in now. And listen, I think this might stem with Kirsty Walk on the old MasterChef. I think that's where it might... I think that's where these issues might start. Kirsty Walk on the old MasterChef.
One of them was the broadcaster Kirsty Wark, a celebrity MasterChef contestant.
What I mean is that she's got this ability to talk to all these people and bring this story together, and she works for the BBC, so pissing her off and doing the sex things at her was probably his biggest mistake. And that's probably where the bucks started to roll.
One of them was the broadcaster Kirsty Wark, a celebrity MasterChef contestant in 2011, who said he told sexualized jokes during filming.
That's my limit of speak and spell. On Tuesday, we sent a letter to Wallace's representatives setting out our allegations, say the BBC. So, other claims made to the BBC include a female worker on MasterChef who said Wallace talked about his sex life and asked her if her new boyfriend had a nice bottom. A female worker on the BBC Good Food Show in 2010 who said Wallace stared at her chest. A female worker on Eat Well for Less in 2019 who said Wallace told her he wasn't wearing any boxer shorts under his jeans. A male worker on MasterChef in 2005-2006 who said Wallace regularly said explicit things on set. He said Wallace once said a dish tasted like his aunt's vagina, and on another occasion asked a female runner if she put her finger up her boyfriend's bottom. A male worker who worked on Big Weekends and other travel shows between 2019 and 2022, who says Wallace talked about threesomes with prostitutes and says he loves spanking multiple times a day. Like, part of me thinks it's not the worst thing in the world. Like, again, if it was a bunch of people, I've heard worse things said in the pub, but then it's his workplace, isn't it? But like, and again, I kind of feel like they've all been like, this has gone on for years, and why didn't they just sort of say, can Greg not get the sack, or can someone tell him to stop doing this? Like, I think part of the like, honestly, now I'm going to like defend him a little bit here, I guess, right? I think part of the problem is that the people who employ him, I suppose the BBC, the producers, whatever, the producers more, the people on set, you know, the producers and whatever, who book him and employ him, they must be sort of aware of this, mustn't they? Because they employ everyone. And whether there's been complaints or not, like, Greg has not been told, stop doing this. He's just been allowed to freely just be Greg the whole time. And, like, in a way, like, the male worker who's complained between 2019 and 2022, like, if they didn't say anything and, like, you know, if their producers weren't, I suppose it's different shows, isn't it? It's different shows, but like, it's quite 19 to 2022 is quite a long time. I suppose it's also not their place to say, and it's difficult and all that. Like, it's their boss, isn't it? So I get that. Like, if you're a young person working on set and like your boss is in the room, it's the big I am. Maybe it's not the place to say, is it? Like, so I get that, actually, yeah. I just find it really difficult that like all the producers are just sort of like, you know, his head's gonna be on the chopping block, isn't it? He's gonna be the one that gets, like, you know, booted out for being a sexual assaulter on the, well, not a sexual, but, you know, I find it like, it's not as bad as some of the other stuff that's been done. It's definitely misogynistic and it's definitely a bit overboard, but I think the people who paid him the money and booked him, I think those people sort of also need to potentially. He is one of the producers, is he? Or sorry, is he? I don't know. Not on all these shows. No, not on all these shows. He's booked as the talent. He's booked as the man in front of the camera. So yeah, I just feel like, you know, maybe we should be broadening out the sort of appropriation of blame to some of the people who then continue to employ him. It's like the Jimmy Savile thing, isn't it? Like, Jimmy Savile obviously was really bad, and then like, what about all the network? Well, there's U-Tree, isn't there? There's the U-Tree thing, but like, the people that book him, like, whoever in their right mind thought, let's get Jimmy Savile, he's the right man for this job, about anything. So yeah, it's a bit of one of them as well. Shall I get another speak and spell out? There's him receiving a medal, look. Getting some sort of medal. Medal for being a sex pervert. Mario Kart's going on in the background, isn't it? It's a really nice little bit of music. I'm happy with it. I'm going to engage with you. I'm going to do a poll. I don't know why I bother, because I don't like any of you. Ask a question. Is Greg Wallace over the line? Because to be honest, right, I think some of the stuff isn't too bad, but in the right context. So in this context, you know, it's got to be at work you're answering for, like. But what are your feelings? Because I'm a bit conflicted, and I just wonder what everyone else thinks. I feel a bit sorry for him because I feel like he's tried. Okay, this is it. I can feel my feelings. I can understand what I mean. I don't think he's been malicious, and I don't think he's really tried to have sex with these women. Like, I don't think the young girl where he asked her about putting her finger up her boyfriend's bottom, I don't think he like was getting a horn on about that or anything. I think he just thought it was a funny, you know, she's probably said something about her boyfriend. He's probably, did you put your finger up his bottom? And like to her, it's like the creepy uncle. Like, you know, oh, why did you say that? But to him, it's just like bit of wear hair, bit of banter. And he's like unaware and naive about the way he's making these people feel. And if that's the case, I don't feel he's being malicious. And if he's not being malicious, and therefore like not like the intent behind it was not to be, you know, like, where are you with your tits, then I feel he's not as misogynistic as someone like, you know, predatory and awful. So in that sense, I feel like sorry for him, because this could have been nipped in the bud if someone had come up to him and said, Greg, I know you like to joke around, and at the work party, you know, that thing that you said about Kirsty Walk's bum was fine. Actually, it wouldn't be fine at the work party either. But you know what I mean? Like, but here in the workplace, we're going to have to just cut out anything. No more fingers up the bum jokes, all right, Greg? Because she said something, and you know what it's like. Should we just leave it? You need a third option, which is, what should the third option be? Like, has he crossed the line or not? Like if you can't answer, don't answer. But like, has he crossed the line or not? And the line, obviously, I'm saying is in the workplace. This is sackable offence. Like, he's gone. Like, in real life, day to day, in the pub, I don't think we'd. I think, should I do a second poll for the pub? Because like, I feel like we'd all agree that banter and stuff, although it's not. Maybe what I'm saying is wrong. Maybe I should say we shouldn't accept this in any environment. You know, maybe no one should be able to ask anyone if they put their finger up their boyfriend's bum. But I'm sure we've all been in environments where people have said, you know, saucy jokes, and it doesn't just passes. You know, it's acceptable. I do think for me, like, you know, here in chat, like, I see it a bit like a pub. Honestly, like, chat, I think of it, the rules and the way we have people come in and out, and you ban people. Like, you know, in the local pub, there are some people that might not be your best friend sometimes, different opinions, but you don't just ban everyone, do you? Like, but then some people cross the line and they get banned. So it's a bit of one of those situations as well. And like, I don't think it would be if to me, like, he would not be kicked out immediately for saying, oh, you finger up your boyfriend's bum. But if she caused a big fuss and then he did it again, it's time to go, isn't it? It's like a sort of 3 strikes and you're out sort of system there, I think. But life's getting too serious. You need to laugh. Yeah, I mean, I'm laughing at him saying he's put his finger up. Did you put your finger up your boyfriend's bum? But anyway, yeah. One of Britain's biggest trade unions was. Hang on. I need more speak and spell. One of Britain's biggest trade unions. We need more speak and spell, because I'm not reading all this out. I'm not reading the news because it would be hypocritical, and also I don't want to read it. So I can read really well. So don't worry about that. But the one I'm usually play text out loud. The one I usually use, I have to just switch up. So I'm using a different one.
One of Britain's biggest trade unions says it was aware of allegations about Wallace's behaviour.
This one's not as good as it, but the other one's only free for a bit and then you have to pay, and I'm not paying.
I'd like to say I'm surprised by these reports, but I guess my reaction is it was a matter of when, not if these stories started to emerge. Philip R. Childs, head of Becchu, told BBC News. She said it was difficult for freelancers to be able to make complaints because of the precarious nature of the industry.
Really good point. You know, my issue that I was saying was, why doesn't somebody speak up and just make a complaint and then not book him anymore? Because they're freelancers, they might not get the job again. They're worried if they're the ones that go and say something, they just won't book the person that causes the problem. He's the big star, they're just someone that holds a camera or a microphone. They're not going to talk up. You know, I get it. I see that now. It's actually a really good example of patriarchy, isn't it? Especially as I sort of see him as a sort of bumbling buffoon, whereas actually he might be a bit more predatory. Like, sometimes people pass by as bumbling buffoons, but they're quite predatory, aren't they? So
She said it was difficult for freelancers to be able to make complaints because of the precarious nature of the industry.
The workplace became the woke place. It was good to be woke, like, because woke meant waking up to all the bollocks in society that holds us down, waking up to the patriarchal nonsense, waking up to the Illuminati trying to run the world with their fucking bollocks. Like, woke was about that. Woke was about waking up, questioning the narrative, and being wide or fucking wake. And then the people that run things from the right wing thought, well, this is threatening us. We'll turn the word into a ridicule word for people who are so wide awake that they've shaved their head and become a non-binary, inverted penis fucking... you know what I mean? Like they parody it to the point where it becomes a nonsense. But actually, all those things, like, you know, not being racist, loving other people, giving people an opportunity to be themselves and stuff like that, you know, they're all quite good things, and we don't have to get too extreme about it, really. So it's good that people, like, if we didn't have the protections for stuff like this, then people wouldn't be able to be in the workplace and flourish, because all the men would make them feel bad. So the patriarchy's a load of bollocks, and the ideas of the patriarchy that are continually there to hold people down, like the anti-woke brigade, who are basically the old pro-patriarchy, old pro, you know, trad wife, let's go back in time brigade. I'm not down with that myself, so yeah. I think woke's a funny word that's been, like, politicised and used, but we don't need to go too hard into the paint. Like, we don't need to be making sure that everyone's got, like, a special pronouns badge, I don't think. Like, but at the same time, like, people just need to be respected, and it's fine for them to have their own lives. That's what I sort of think, yeah. That's where I'm going with that.
She said it was difficult for freelancers to be able to make complaints because of the precarious nature of the industry. They are always concerned about where their next job is coming from, or indeed are they going to be able to establish themselves in the industry.
Well, there's a lot of room for fucking voiceovers, because this fucking text-to-speech is awful, isn't it? Susan, I'm changing you. What about Hazel? This is called Hazel. Hazel should sound much better, shouldn't you?
So there is quite a tendency not to report.
It sounds exactly the same.
So there is quite a tendency not to report, to feel that it's not safe to report, to feel that
because I didn't reload it.
So there is quite a tendency not
to report, to feel that it's not safe to report, to feel that if they do report, the production company or the broadcaster are not going to take them seriously, and they're not going to take action because of the power that people on screen might hold. Speaking to BBC's Radio 4 Today programme, former BBC One controller Lorraine Hegarty said, and why don't they put the clip in, because it's their own clip. Wallace was the latest in a long line of presenters behaving badly. Oh, now this is an issue. And do you know what? They're all ladies. The head of Beck2 was Philippa Childs. Radio 4's Today programme, former BBC One controller is Lorraine Hegarty. And I think they're all pretty fucked off with Greg. She said she was particularly concerned that the issues had been raised and investigated, and yet the behaviour was allowed to continue. Bang. That's exactly what I think. I was saying the producers, the people that book him, the behaviour was allowed to continue. Why has no one fucking come down on him and said, this is not right, cut it out? Like, he is a bad chuffer for doing it. I'm not going to say, like, he's not, I'm not absolving him of guilt here. I'm saying there should be more guilt also put onto the people who, like, create that environment and pay the people to do it. Somehow we've got a culture, I guess, because it started in showbiz, of pandering to those who are in front of camera and letting them get away with behaviour that other people in teams would not be allowed to get away with, she said. Also on Friday, the charity ambitious about autism dropped Wallace as an ambassador. Poor Wallace. And also, I suppose, in some way, it's a benefit to autistic children, because he's not going to be the ambassador anymore, is he? So that's a negative for Greg, but it's a pro for autism. Others have defended Wallace. TV producer Alice Harper, she's a woman, told The Times, I've come to know Greg extremely well, and I've run a team, many of whom are young women, and I've never ever seen Greg do anything inappropriate. Ooh. So is it just a BBC thing? And is it the BBC ladies who want to egg Greg? Or is this an industry-wide problem? Or is the other people in the industry going to come to his defence, maybe? Or is it about who he's working with now and who he's not? Or I don't know. Like, he tells jokes incessantly on set to relax people. I had to sort of teach him things that were not appropriate to joke about. I did have to take him aside a couple of times, and he took it on board and became more careful. Well, that's exactly what I mean. Like, that's exactly how I'd feel to manage that situation. That does, like, raise another red flag, which is that if there is an issue and it's been ongoing, then how come it's not been solved and dealt with in that way? Yeah. Take him aside, talk to him, see if we can resolve it and move forward. That's a way forward, yeah. But apparently that's not been done anywhere else. The blame is not on those other producers necessarily, and the other... Well, the producers are the ones employing him, aren't they? So it is, in a way, like, their responsibility. They're employing him. But, like, in those other teams, I'll say, it's not their responsibility to all do that if they didn't feel comfortable doing it. But that is a way to do it. And apparently he responded to it really well. So I get it. He's, like, just being really comedic all the time. But his jokes are... Like, we all know people like this, don't we? Like, and we're all going to... Listen, Christmas is coming. We're all going to be in situations like this where someone in the family or at the Christmas party takes it a bit far or says something a bit... In fact, there are people that we know that are always doing that and they just can't stop it, and they're just problem people. But, like, it depends on the spectrum, doesn't it? Where they sit on the spectrum. And, like, where does Greg sit on the spectrum? I don't really know. Some people really don't like him. Others are now speaking up for him. So, come on, Button. I've had a tip. And you've already voted. Listen, you chuffers have already voted, so that poll's over.
Torchy. Torchy. That. I remember Torchy when I was a little tiny boy. I used to love Torchy. Torchy the battery boy.
You're a cat. Do you want the cat? Do you want the infamous cat? This is now a thing.
Bang! I'm a cat.
It's like become a proper meme now.
Bang! I'm a cat.
But I actually like fact in it as well. But you can drop fact can be optional because I like bang. Fact. I'm a cat. It rhymes. It rolls. It goes bang. Fact. I'm a cat. Like that. But you can have just bang. I'm a cat. Like, as well. If you want, you can just go
bang. I'm a cat.
Like, that's fine as well. That's fine. Yes, but you've already voted, your votes are in, and now you're going to find out that people are speaking up in his defence, so now it's too late, you've already judged him. He tells jokes incessantly. He builds up relationships with contestants. There's a palpable warmth, and off camera his interest is not only in what they cook, but what they do and who they are. Sitwell added, Wallace fires off jokes like he's running a Bernard Manning comedy workshop. Well, that's bad, isn't it? Journalist William Sitwell, who's known Wallace for about 25 years, said in a Daily Telegraph column the presenter is always genuinely interested in the well-being of people around him. He fires off jokes like he's running a Bernard Manning comedy workshop. Some are plain silly, others outrageous, which is of course the point of jokes. I do that here, but then I'm running a stream and it's entertainment. I mean, he is in entertainment, but it's not his job to entertain those people it's a weird one. Powerful people get away with it. Oh, and then it's going on about the BBC having other allegations about other people, so that's not about who we're talking about, so I'll just ignore that. What do you think? Has it gone too far? Has Greg Wallace gone too far? Has Greg Wallace gone too far? And what you think is yes, basically, most of you. It's a 63-36. Only 30 of you voted, so it's not like it's just a little straw poll. It's just a little straw poll. But overall, yes, you think he's gone too far. Bad Chuffer. I kind of see it. You know, I always didn't like him as a feel. I always felt like his jokes wouldn't have made me feel like laughing. And I didn't like him as a judge on MasterChef. I don't mind that, Marcus, and I don't mind... who's the other lady that's on it now? Like, I don't watch it anymore, but I think they're good. I always used to watch it back when Marcus Waring was the main... or second judge. I thought Marcus Waring was good. But, yeah, Greg Wallace ain't my favourite. And nor is that other Chuffer. And I can't believe he married Lisa Faulkner. So that's that story. You've had that now. Down with this sort of thing. Careful now.
I hear you're a racist now, father.
I hear you're a sexist now. It's a bit sad for him in a way, isn't it? Because I think he's just of a different generation as well, where a lot of his comedic vibe, like he would have thought, hey, I'm a bit of a lad doing funny jokes. I mean, back in the day when that bloke married Lisa Faulkner, doing the sexy, racy lad jokes, like Lads Mags, FHM magazine, Maxim, way, you know, Loaded magazine, Nuts, Lads, Pints, You know, like, but it doesn't fly so well today, does it? It doesn't fly so well. Maybe. I'm just checking the time now, and 2:59:42, so 20 seconds, 3 hours, and then I can just fuck off because I don't. Frankly, I've given you 3 hours of my life. What more can I do? But no, we'll play ourselves out with a song. I'll probably, obviously I do enjoy spending time with you chuffers to the point where when I'm playing video games on Twitch, I open up my life to you so you can come and just sit there and watch me play as well. And it's not the most exciting thing all the time, but sometimes we watch videos and I'm there and I'm there and you like it and I like it and I like you. So, don't leave me for squeezing your bum in the car. That time I showed you that photo of that woman in the car. No, it's all good in the hood, yeah. All good in the hood. Big ups DC Prime Time. And yeah, I want to play us out with a song. I'm just trying to think, was there something else I promised us? Oh yeah, Christmas. Christmas, Old Lady Christmas. Let's do a little bit of Old Lady Christmas. I promised you this, and we didn't do it. I said, depending on time. How many people thought they were going to get Old Lady Christmas and didn't get Old Lady Christmas and wanted it?
Pictures and places like that.
This is something that we might watch a little bit of and then pick up a bit more on Twitch maybe, because I promised it. I'll show you a little bit. We want to play ourselves out with a song as well, and I've got a new Eddy rap to finish the show on, one that you won't have heard, so I'm going to play us out on that. Look out for Sentries. Now That's What I Call Eddy, going to be dropping for Christmas. I've got songs on the back burner. They will be released. Okay, they will be released. I'm going to do a glut of them in December. We're going to have, and Now That's What I Call Sentries, I think, as well, including the Gin song. I haven't got a music video for all of these songs, and doing an individual video for them feels a bit wrong if it doesn't have a proper video. But I'm going to do an album called Now That's What I Call Eddy, with all the Eddy songs on it, and I might as well do it as one video with all of them done as a thing, yeah? And I was thinking a load of the other jumbled up songs, including maybe the Gin song. You know, that Gin song from the Nicola Bully video that people wanted to hear again, and a few songs like that. Maybe I'll do an album called Now That's What I Call Sentries and just put that out there as well. But look out for that shit. And here's a bit of Christmas, and then we'll do a song to finish. This might have to end up being next week or some of the things. We've gone up to time, but I did promise it. I just don't want to say, I don't think anyone gives a shit about this, to be honest, but I don't want to say I was going to do it and then not do it, because people might have held on for 3 hours waiting for this. But
hello. Today, as most of us look forward to Christmas, we're going to look back at Christmases long gone. Modern Christmases reflect the age we live in. In
fact, we all need a bit of this. This is your pudding. This is your brain. We've thought about some interesting and maybe, sometimes I like to just give us a little, media and stuff that we do here. It's like taking someone by the hand and leading them sometimes, yeah? Like other people seem to think that they're brainwashing people, or at least attempting to, aren't they? But I don't want to lead you into a dark place. I said this on Super Chuffer all the time, because we do darker subjects sometimes on Super Chuffer. Don't want to lead you into a dark place and leave you there. And like with the Greg Wallace stuff, it's a bit, this is a bit more fun, a bit more cheery, and something nice to finish on. So let's just find out what Christmas was like in days gone by.
Imitation Christmas trees, frozen turkeys and factory-made mince pies. But what was Christmas like in the early part of the century, before everything became a gift-wrapped convenience? With me are Edna Brannan, Florence Edwards and Emily Hode. Emily, you had Christmas when you were very young on the moors, didn't you, in Dartmouth?
On the moors?
What do you remember mostly about those Christmases?
Well, they were really...
Right, I tell you what, straight off, I noticed that she's got a very modern haircut. You'd say that, but it's still the past. This is in the 70s, so how does her haircut look so modern? Because Vidal fucking Sassoon, mate. Vidal fucking Sassoon. God bless him. Sharp bob. Followed the flow of the hairline into the bob. She's done a fringe. A fringe naturally has a little flick to it. Followed that into the bob. Vidal Sassoon.
Quite country Christmases, because we lived on the outskirts of Exeter, and although there were a few shops, they were very small, but we could get the horse tram in those days into Exeter and go into the shops if we were buying presents.
The horse tram?
But most of our groceries...
I was going to play Dry Spell. Oh, fuck yeah. We've got 2 songs to finish. Yes, thank you for reminding me.
And the butchery and the food for Christmas was sent. A man would come on Christmas Eve with a horse and cart and bring most of the things that we...
Bless her. She's wearing this pinafore thing as well, which is like, I don't know what it is. Like, there's a brooch, that's a bit of snazz, a bit of pizzazz, and it looks like she's like wearing like a bib from like Prisoner Cell Block H or something. But
needed for Christmas.
like a sacking bib. No offence. I mean, she's dead now. She won't take any. But like, she's like a combination of like modern. I think this is quite modern as well. The frock, like the style of it, isn't it? In a way, it's like very minimalist and designed. Like it's like a combination of different things.
But what I remember most is that we made everything. We used to have to make all our own decorations and our own entertainment. There was no
Look at her, like.
To make all our own decorations and our own...
Look at her, like, you what? You used to have to make things? God, we're in the 70s now. We buy everything from shops, Edna. Making things sounds awful. With a collar as well, like, look at a collar. Look at that. That could take your eye out. Look at the size of it. What's that about? You can tell that looks strange. You don't have to be into fashion. You know it looks strange. And she's got all the different print on the cardi. Complicated bead necklace, really going for it. 70s, isn't it? Anything in the 70s, things were just like wild. And she's living in the modern convenience. She's got a freezer, you know. She goes to the supermarket and making your own Christmas decorations. These days we wouldn't even consider it, would we? These days we don't have wide collars and weird shit, but like these days, I mean, I'm dressed as much as a nutter as her she is, but these days we wouldn't consider making our own Christmas decorations either, would we really? Because everything's cheap and thrown away and like in a big hamper in the shed for when you get it out for Christmas again next year if you didn't throw it away. But like, it's makes you think, doesn't it? Makes you think what kind of Christmas we used to do at school. We used to do those simple chains with the coloured paper, do that, get them up. I mean, it'd be a bit drab compared to what you can buy in Sainsbury's, but I might make a few things now that she said it.
Our own entertainment. There was no television in those days.
No television in those days, just the radio. We always used to sit round the radio, didn't we? Do you remember we always used to sit round the radio? Me, Eddy, me. And we'd talk to each other, me and Eddy, just huddled around the radio over a Bakewell tart. There'd be one Bakewell tart and the radio, and me and Eddy, and we'd take it in turns to suck the cherry, because obviously we'd argue about the cherry, wouldn't we? Like, it's you cut and I'll choose, so we'd do that. We'd be all right with that. We'd been told, you know, we'd be all right with that. You cut and I'll choose. We'd be all right with that. Well, you were always all right with it. What? You were always all right with it. Me? We're both all right with it. No, you were all right with it. You always got to cut. Well, you always got to choose. Yeah, but... choosing's the better option, isn't it? No, because you always cut them the same. So it was you and me and Eddy, yeah? And his granddad. I don't talk about his granddad. You know it sets you off. What did his granddad used to do? He used to like to touch things. What? He used to like to touch things. What? Hang on. A bit extra at the end. They didn't expect this. I think they're all going to turn off if we listen to too much Christmas. So we'll listen to a little bit of Christmas and then we'll do the songs. Because I do want you to hear Dry Spell's song. It's a fucking banger. Don't turn off. Stay here. Stay here for a little bit of Christmas, and Dry Spell's song is a fucking banger. And then my new rap is also a banger. So stay here. But I forgot to say about this, didn't I? What was I just saying then? Granddad's touching things. Granddad's touching things. That's what I said. Granddad's touching things. That's what I said. Presenting Square Disc presents Pop Quiz Music number 4 for ridicule on the internet here by me. This is the work of Square Disc. Sorry, Square Disc. Is it going to start?
Eddy! Yeah.
Eddy!
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 Yes, Grandad, I'm just getting ready. I want to do this quiz. Remember, I want to knock this out. I'm so sorry,
I'm so sorry, I think.
I've knocked the record button. What do you
I've knocked the record button.
mean you've knocked the record button? I've accidentally started recording already. Grandad, how many more times have I got to tell you, leave this stuff alone if you don't know what you're doing? I'm so sorry. He's such a sweet Grandad, is my Grandad. But he does tend to touch things. But anyway. Sweet Grandad is my Grandad. But he does tend to touch things.
A little bit of critique for you there. I don't like his t-shirt. That was a horrible shade of bright, garish fucking nonsense. And I thought he sounded like a right creepy weirdo when he said about his granddad touching things. That's a little bit of critique for you. A little bit of ridicule on the internet. Comes under the category of fair use.
And we had to do everything for ourselves.
When did you first start making your Christmas?
Oh, when we were quite...
Oh, Eddie's granddad used to come in and touch things.
Quite young. I only had one brother. There were two of us, and
There was me and there was Eddie and the radio, and we used to sit round the radio at Christmas, and we could smell the turkey from next door, but we didn't have a turkey. What we used to do is we used to wait till Boxing Day, and they would give us the bones of the turkey with all of like the bits of meat that they hadn't eaten and the grease from in the tray, right? And they used to give that to us after, and me and my brother used to fight over that because we'd both want the wishbone to make a wish, and obviously it was broken because they'd already made a wish, but we'd stick it back together. That didn't matter. Listen, we both wanted the wishbone, but only one person gets to win the wishbone, don't they? And the person that gets to win it is the one that holds the bit that's got always, because they'd already done the wish, it's already broken, we stuck it back together. It would be the one that's, so we'd have an argument over who got to hold the good bit of the wish. Big ups, Big Chris. Big ups.
You know what shouldn't be on YouTube?
I know it's childish.
80s sexual deviant.
Thank you very much.
my family, and when I was only about 6 or 7 years old, I suppose, we used to get up an entertainment on Christmas, and when the relations came, there would be this wonderful show which we made between ourselves.
But your mother, in fact, would be the person who sort of made the Christmas, like all mothers. What time of year would she start thinking about Christmas?
Oh, well, Christmas began with us on Stir Up Sunday.
Stir Up Sunday? I've not heard of that.
You see, in the Church of England Book of Common Prayer, on the Sunday before Advent, there's a prayer which begins, "Stir up, we beseech thee," and Mother used to set...
Laughing at her there for going to church and knowing the prayers.
Quite a religious significance to that, and say, now, next Sunday is Stir Up Sunday, we must get the puddings going.
We must get the puddings going. What do you mean?
And that would be the signal for Christmas to begin.
What about you, Florence? You were giggling there.
That didn't tell us exactly when it was, but...
Did you remember Stir Up Sunday?
No, because our puddings were always made sort of in the week. Sunday was always a day of the chapel.
Florence has come in blue today.
And we used to go to chapel, you see, practically all day Sunday.
Florence Edwards there, it said. I don't know.
And
I don't know who the fuck she is, but
I don't know, we never thought anything of it. We used to like it.
Did your mother make all her Christmas cakes and puddings?
She made everything, mince meat, mince pies, everything. And yet they were, you know, we were never well off. We never had pocket money or anything like that. But Mother started sometime before, I can't really honestly say when, but when it was most convenient to her. And then the turkey, of course, didn't come home till Christmas Eve. Father used to go to Smithfield and get that, walk to
Smithfield, the market.
And you can get them cheaper at the very end of the day, you see, and he used to go to the end of the day and get the turkey and bring it home. And we generally used to get an H-bone and beef, and I don't think they even know what it means these days.
Edna.
I do not know what an H-bone of beef is, actually, but I assume it's just a beef bone that you sort of boil up.
You came from the North Country. You lived in
The North Country, here we go.
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire, Christmas must have been hard up there then, wouldn't it? See,
You were a little girl. When did your mother start thinking about Christmas, first of all?
Well, the end of August, that was the time she used to start. And
Edna, because she's come from Yorkshire, has come in monochrome brown and yellow. Like, you know, she's come in a sort of... She didn't realise this was going to be colour television, so she's just come in a brown.
at first, my dad...
She looks like she's in... And like, you know, she looks like she's been done in black and white telly, doesn't she? Like the others... Anyway.
Used to start at first, getting a few chickens.
Getting a few chickens. This is... It's grim up north, isn't it? Is it murdering all the animals before Christmas? The first thing we do as Christmas is going down south in Exeter, the first thing you do is you start making the pudding. Start making a big all yummy pudding. We're going to start putting the pudding together. Up north, you start grabbing the chickens. Grabbing the chickens. Gotta start murdering the birds.
And he had a shed in the backyard.
Bless her.
And he used to feed his own cockles. What bits we left in on our plates, well, so it used to feed the chickens for us for Christmas. And Mother used to start at the end of September.
Chickens for Christmas as well, not turkeys.
At the beginning of October, making the puddings and making cake.
Puddings now as well, though. But so in August, you're thinking about Christmas because you're fattening up the chickens.
Anybody come to the door and ask her to make a cake, she'd be making it.
Bless her.
But it always used to be Sunday afternoon, after she took her last Yorkshire puddings out of the oven. In goes a Christmas cake. And
right, listen, we're going to do a Christmas song now. I've had enough of this Yorkshire Christmas with murdering birds. Shouts out to everyone in Yorkshire. Big love Eddy too, says Big Chris. I see you showing the love around. I don't know, man. I don't love people who are fucking sick wackos and sickos and nasty. But like, fair enough if you want to say it. Thanks for the monies. No, I don't love Alan. I don't love Eddy. I don't love any of the fucking, you know what I mean. Once people, I said it earlier about like once people are written off.
Torchy, Torchy. That I remember Torchy when I was a little tiny boy. I used to love Torchy the battery boy.
And I've got a Jesus jumper on. I should be really careful about what I'm saying. Like actually, like you know, I don't want to spite God in that way. I know I've been taught to forgive and forget and like to share love, but honestly, I don't love Eddy. I fucking don't. So.
Torchy the battery boy.
Thank you, Rachel, for a £2 super chat. Hate you all, beautiful lot. And thank you, Kelly, for the $1.99 super chat. I'm going to give you each a different button. So let's choose something off a classic buttons list. Classic buttons list. Here's one for Kelly.
Oh, what are you?
No, not that one. That's rude. This one.
Brian Buttunder.
Classic button.
Brian Buttunder.
That's a classic button.
Brian Buttunder.
And big ups, Rachel.
I can't take it anymore. What are we gonna do? We got a big problem.
Classic buttons. I'm going to play Dry Spell's song now, right? Dry Spell is like friend of the channel, subscriber. Dry Spell has written a song, and it's got us in it. It's got all the people in it, and it's got the nutters in it and stuff. It's brilliant. I love it. So you got Dry Spell's song for 3 minutes 50. And then after that, so this is more Christmassy. This is the lovely Christmassy song, yeah? And then after that, I'm going to play you out with my new Eddy rap, and it's going to body him. It's going to fucking body him. So listen out for that. Listen to this, and then listen to that, and then we're done, all right? You be good, and if you can't be good, you're naughty. I'll be back on here, on Super Chuffer, on Twitch, and yeah. Thank you for being good. And fuck you if you're naughty.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Christian lights, bright flashing light. Streams all ago, the faces we know. On phones and big tellies we watch all the vids. After we finally settled the kids, bring us some laughs and some seasonal fun, because 2024's been a bit of a one. It's YouTube, Yuletide, here it comes. All your skint daddies and frazzled mums. If your battery's exhausted, you know where to go for a super chuffing fabulous Christmas show. Luke's favourite time to wake up old crime. Platform a fraud, leave viewers bored. Ask his members for personal deets. Masonic banners of towels and sheets. He's a no-hope but Tate wannabe who would hold down teen girls for free. Alan's so blue, no one knows what to do. His kids are all pissed, say that he won't be missed. And the grandkids will shout hip hooray when mum drops him home Boxing Day. Resolves to rehash all Brian's ideas for money on Patreon for years and years. It's YouTube Yuletide, here it comes. All you skint daddies and frazzled mums. If your battery's exhausted, you know where to go for a super chuffing fabulous Christmas show. Eddy's gone red, it's so hot in NZ. Sweaty and mad, disowned by Grandad. Pretends he presents Name That Tune on TV and dreams about broadcasting house BBC. BBC. This rough old year has seen him down on his knees. Won't somebody show pity and section him, please? Now where is Paul? No one knows at all. His dates all mixed up, his brisket thrown up in some Asian country, climbing a rope, swimming near girls for a bit of a grope, maybe roasting a turkey with Alla and Mark, or camping somewhere in the woods in the dark. It's YouTube Yuletide, here it comes. All your skint daddies and frazzled mums. If your battery's exhausted, you know where to go for a super chuffing fabulous Christmas show. John's out in the cold, feeling lonely and old. Talks into his phone about peds he has known. There isn't a podcast that he's not been on. All the same tired stories and a bit of Wilf Wong, sad-faced with coffee. Didn't even cheer up when someone dropped a quid piece in his cup. What a bad lot, they don't care a jot. Don't bother with that, just watch Curious Cat or help solve a blank face's Misper appeal. Just chat while Scott plays, do whatever you feel. Play some mean green tunes, watch Lydia's vlog. Let the grey rocks lie and just don't be a cock. It's YouTube Yuletide, here it comes. All your skint daddies and frazzled mums. If your battery's exhausted, you know where to go for a super chuffing fabulous Christmas show. Send Christmas trees, tube nights, bright flashing lights, streams all ago, the faces we know. On phones and big tellies we watch all the vids. After we finally settled the kids, bring us some laughs and some seasonal fun, because 2024's been a bit of a one.
Well done, you swamp donkey. Well done, Dry Spell. That's Dry Spell. Big ups, Dry Spell. Well done. I thought that was really good. Thank you very much to a fox. Bang on a cat.
Go, Segura. I'm absolutely electrified right now.
And I've got a rap about Eddy, and it's a blinder. It's a blinder. Let's get Eddy's face back on the old screen. Oh, he's cross face. Oh, are you cross? Are you cross? You'll need your cross. Do you know why you need your cross? Are you cross? You know that joke? Have you heard that joke? There's two nuns in a car, and they're driving back from Mass, and a vampire flies out, and it lands on the bonnet of the car. This is classic. I didn't invent this. A vampire flies out, it lands on the bonnet of the car. You know that one, yeah? And she's driving, and it lands on the bonnet of the car, and she says to her, show him your cross. Show him your cross. Show him your cross. And she goes, get off the fucking car, you wanker. You need your cross, because it kills demons.
Eddie, you were desperate cause you got nothing. You trying to craft a narrative and it's sucking but not sticking. You thinking you smart but you look like a dunce, trying to drag my subs down to your low levels. They're good people, you devils in bad disguises. We all heard your lies about Nikki. You're sick, just ask Vicky and Kelly. You trying to craft a narrative about Penny or Jelly. Jealous of the Chuffer busted, you caught you lying. You try to make out like Chuffer is obscene, but keep trying, you're bad dreaming. Your Jelly and Chuffer is breaking the lies of fake, breaking the ice, telling it like it is, you're jealous, you're dreaming. Chuffer is the one who got the cream, and you can't stand that. Bang, I'm a cat and you just litter. You think you can win with your bitterness, I'm a critic, not a quitter. I'm too legit to let a nutter crack me. I see the truth and I'll keep at it. You could call me a monk cause dunking on you is like a habit now. I walk in the light and you run with the rabbits in the shadows. Omar coming, see how the line narrows. Eddie playing sick games for sick reasons. These people have given up their souls but I see them. They run shook when it's hunting season. They get cross cause this kills demons. They get cross cause this kills demons. Heathens serve forked tongue lies and tell you it's a wisdom so you eat them. I see them in the videos, we've seen them delete them. Jesus, I know we defeat them with love, but I'm just a thug I'm being told. So I take on a lyrical battle and put Eddie in a verbal chokehold. I know we can't go toe to toe with a real lyricist. I like and bring the beats, but that's just a simple bit. He can't compete with the Chuffer when it comes to writing. Chuffer got the flow, Chuffer up in lights. Eddie written in biro on toilet doors in the middle of the night. He pretend to go to mass, but the only services he knows are where the trucks stop for gas. Although he might go to OTO for the satanic rituals. I heard they do tea and cherry bakewells and wear red knickers. So get ready, something wicked this way comes and it's Eddie. I've more windows than Buckingham Palace. I'm more wonderful than Alice. I'm so magic I can vanish and leave no trace. Don't play your cards wrong because I'm holding aces. I won't get caught between your two faces. I'm too based, I'm the damn foundation. Eddie rides trains but wishes he was on radio stations. I make tracks and lace them with facts he can't refute. He cries in AI cause the Chuffer speaks the truth. He's trying to make people feel uncomfortable supporting Chuffer but it's useless. We stand together against narcissists and abusive losers. Eddie would be dangerous if he weren't so stupid. We all know what he did and he can't hide nor deny it. Lied about Nikki and crafted narratives that failed to fly. We don't buy it, but keep trying. Eddie playing sick games for sick reasons. These people have given up their souls but I see them. They run shook when it's hunting season. They get cross cause this kills demons. Eddie playing sick games for sick reasons. These people have given up their souls but I see them. They run shook when it's hunting season. They get cross cause this kills demons.
Chuffer up in lights, struck like lightning. Chuffer keep winning, Chuffer legal, Chuffer high class, regal. Chetty stealing chips at the beach like a seagull. Little Kiwi, maybe see him on the farms. Eddie so low, he's underground like Folding's llamas. Eddie got to go, he's the source of petty dramas. Going on like a fucking teenager. He's more bitch than man, the original no-brainer. Chuffer be the lion and the tamer in the ring. Eddie stretching the truth further than arms of Dulcim. We penned him, I guess he liked getting pegged as a liar. Square dicks in round holes don't fit so well either. I despise you, Eddie. You are the sickest sicko of them all. Tell us again how you recorded Moonoogian like I recorded you lying in that call. Tell us again how you went viral with the Selfridges prank, cause that was Tiny Tim's adventures, you wank. And you just lied and thought we wouldn't check. You bet I did, it's what I do. You called me Scotty Poo while I shit all over you. You don't expose me, you just say yeah, but what am I? You are not witty, you are not funny. You're just a nothing guy who tells lies. Now your night shift is calling, the people are boarding, and I keep repeating you are boring. Chuffer spanks you. Speaking generally, Chuffer outranks you. Enjoy your red knickers, you Bakewell skanks. I don't need your thanks, I don't need you fucking admiration. I don't need to be on time to the station. If you wanna break records like Brian Harvey, you need dedication. Eddie thinking about Brian on his fucking vacations. Eddie's so far removed from reality, he gets anxiety from the separation. Next time I interview Eddie, it should be an interrogation. He can't walk a straight path, all he knows is deviation and deceit. He will have to beat to retreat because his meat doesn't work. I'm vegan, he's just an animal. Alan makes more sense when he's banging the tramadol. Eddie with his
rat, ran up the clock and jumped ship into my kitchen. I'll feast on rats and pick my teeth with the witches. They can burn in hell while we fire up the beacons. They get cross because this kills demons. 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 Eddy playing sick games for sick reasons. These people have given up their souls, but I see them. They run shook when it's hunting season. They get cross because this kills demons. Playing sick games for sick reasons. These people have given up their souls, but I see them. They run shook when it's hunting season. They get cross because this kills demons.